Welcome again to another episode, or should I say, one of the first episodes of what we might be calling the Canadian Conspiracy Club. Here joining me tonight is my brand new co-host and extremely professional friend, Steve the Professional. Steve, how you doing, buddy? Tell the people what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing
you
fabulous.
You can answer that question.
I'm very excited to hear all about what you have to talk about tonight. You've been doing some research all day.
We're going to have a great, big, long conversation about some human cloning that I've found some very compelling information about that looks to be true, I think. Like, I mean, there's a lot of times we look at stuff where you can't really find evidence. The evidence just keeps going and going. Like, I'm digging a rabbit hole that's deeper and deeper and deeper. The more, like, I got notes for days here, so we can get right into that. Do you have anything else to say before we rock and roll?
Well, I think just before we start, I want to say the stuff that you were looking at is not a conspiracy theory. This is not a show that's about conspiracy theories. I might mention my own theories about a conspiracy or a possible conspiracy from time to time, but everything you're going to hear tonight is verified fact from sources. We've got stuff right off Wikipedia. We've got stuff right off of Google search engine. We've got names that are connected to Google, and it's all verifiable stuff. And in fact, after the show, we're going to leave all that in the description so you can go ahead and check it out for yourself. In fact, I might be able to do that during the show, but we're going to try and stay focused here tonight and just get right into the stuff. And if you want to check out the information for yourself, it will be available post-show. So yeah, without further ado, Steve, please take it away, get into it, and I'll react to what some of the mind-blowing, sickening information that you have to give us tonight.
Let me just add to what you just said about the links. It would be way too much work for me I can't do that while I'm doing this. I can send them all to you. I've got all of it bookmarked, so it's not going to be hard for me to get them. Like, I can send it to you. We'll do it right at the end. Because
splendid, buddy.
Yeah, too much work to do while talking. I got a lot of shit to get into here. So we're going to start with how I got into this, how I realized what. Okay. I've seen a lot of clone movies and like cool sci-fi movies about clones and stuff like that, human cloning. I always kind of thought it was a little bit bullshit. And then I just stumbled across this movie. I'm losing my mind here. Let me get into the right browser. I'm actually going to turn the camera around and show you what I was looking at. I hope that's okay. We're not going to get copyrighted, are we? Like, it's the first one.
No, it's okay.
The first one is a video of Kid Boo. I've never heard of him before, but he's a rapper, right? He's just
Kid Boo. I think I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did like an interview, and well, let's just play that real quick. Would you like to hear it? Because this is the beginnings of my digging deep into this rabbit hole. It's really fucked up. And excuse my language, but oh my God. Let's get this over here all set up. I had it set up perfect earlier here. The funny thing is I got to use a little piece of something to hold this straighter so that it doesn't look all on an angle there. I'll get it set up here real quick. Does that look
attempting to use his professional skills to fix the camera?
Is that pretty good?
Splendid, buddy.
Okay,
you're on target. Don't even worry, you're perfect.
And we're gonna play this. It's very interesting.
All right. Here we go, Alice, into the rabbit hole.
Welcome to Vlad TV.
Is that loud enough? Here, I'll turn it up.
Making a lot of noise recently, man. Congrats.
Turn it up.
Thank you. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, everyone works towards that, you know, that video that goes viral. And it looks like you have like a nice little handful of them now. You know what I mean? It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, I got my hands a bit full now. Thanks to these accomplishments. Got a few more extra things in my hand I didn't quite anticipate, but it all comes with the territory, I suppose.
Of course. So, where'd you grow up?
South Florida.
Okay. I guess you originally were born in Jersey?
Yeah. Originally, my first gen. I'm a second gen now. That's why you see the celebrity births say I'm born in Toronto, but that's false. My first gen was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonaid in Canada. My model number is 0112568. If anyone wants to see the registration on Clonaid.
Okay.
What
So you're
the
looking
fuck?
for passport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. And what nationality are you?
That's what I said too.
Sicilian and Puerto Rican.
Okay. Sicilian and Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Those are
That's
my
what's up.
2 genomes.
Okay. So who's the Puerto Rican one? Who's the Sicilian one?
Yeah.
When I was cloned,
dude,
I
you're gonna
wiped
shit your
a
pants
lot of
on me.
memory, but when I stole the documents before escaping, I read that the mother was Puerto Rican and the I guess the father's surrogate, you could say, was the sperm donor was Sicilian.
Okay. So you're a test tube baby.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I guess you have a fraternal twin.
Yeah.
Brother or sister?
Brother.
Okay. So you guys, fraternal twins, is different from identical twins. So do you guys look kind of similar or not really?
I don't think anyone looks as similar as me.
Okay. Okay. Are you guys real close?
Yeah, we're close.
Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna pause the video, and the reason being is this interviewer is actually kind of an asshole, and he gets into like his earlier life and why he suffers from depression and anxiety, and he answers with like he's seen a lot of his friends die and drugs and alcohol and all these things, right? And the guy keeps pressing. We're not going to watch that because it actually made me depressed because the guy's been through some shit. We don't need to. Now we'll get into. He goes back into the cloning talk somewhere around here, I think.
I'm in living proof now.
Yeah, it's a little bit before that.
Shit, norm, and already dealing with depression naturally.
Yeah, that's where he's talking about depression. We don't need to talk about
but
that.
in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of.
Oh, of course. Sorry, guys. Fuck. Ads. I hate ads. Sorry.
You're supposed to live until you get to an old age, and then
Get past this.
The
new norm of like mortal through clones and transfer our consciousness.
So this is where he's talking about his brain, his consciousness being transferred over. Now I'm trying to research that and figure out how do they do that.
Immortality, like immortal.
There's a reason behind the funding of this. What's happening?
That is what's considered the norm.
I believe in a new norm now. I believe in a new norm of like through the creation and synthesis in DNA that we can live like immortality, like immortal through clones and transfer our consciousness. I'm in living proof now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking.
Shout out Clonaid.
What's that?
Shout out Clonaid.
Yeah. Well, you could actually, as soon as you die, they could actually freeze your body.
Well, what happened with my first gen is they took the skull because he initially had written in a will to the Realism movement that if something were to happen to him, they can ship the skull over immediately to Clonaid. So they can remove a fragment of bone that's located here. And in this fragment of bone, it stores all of your memories and consciousness. And with that, they can make a sufficient replica of yourself, a reproductive version of you, including your memories. You can be selective as to which ones you keep or don't keep. This process has been around for quite some time. Like Dolly the sheep was cloned back in, I think, the late 70s, early 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Dolly the sheep, yeah, I remember that. And they cloned a lot of animals over the years.
Yeah, Clonaid, I don't want to say too much information. This is going to be broadcast on the internet.
But I don't think they can transfer the actual memories, though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're living proof of this?
Yeah, I'm living proof. It's like all the memories. A lot of them I don't have because of drugs and alcohol I abused as a teenager. So it's kind of like burning an MP3 CD, right? So let's say, we don't do this, I mean, people don't do this anymore, but back in the day with a bootleg a CD, you would need the original copy. You put it in, it reads the disc, transfers all the files. You have the same exact CD, it's the same thing. All the tracks, everything, every bar, every hit from every note, everything's gonna be on there. Now, if I scratch that CD, I may not be able to read all the files in the disc, making it impossible to transfer, make a new one, new copy.
Sorry, that's my train.
I think it's amazing that they even were able to make Gucci Man.
Right, because they cloned him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Clonaid did. I'm pretty sure like that was done from a separate company. But yeah, clearly
Everyone was saying he was cloned as soon as he got out of jail. He looked different. He talked different.
Yeah, even his teeth and his smile.
Right, he was smiling a lot more.
Yeah, he did, definitely. I like Gucci. I like new Gucci. I like second gen Gucci.
Second gen Gucci. Okay, so Gucci was the first hip hop clone, but you're the second.
Maybe if there's others, I don't know. But I don't even think just hip hop. I consider myself like more of a rock star, pop star. So Michael then technically was the first. If you
Michael Jackson.
People think he was
right.
Possible. So this is the introduction. Let's pause that. We can exit the full screen.
Let's discuss
and we'll jump into. I'm glad that I have my notes here because I can actually keep on track. So the first thing that I did is I went and I Googled CLONEAID, right? So when you Google CLONEAID, you guys can see the screen, right? So it comes up, it says CLONEAID is a, right? So I'm going to go right to the website. I'm going to go right to Wikipedia. So it says CLONEAID is a Canadian-based human cloning organization registered as a company in the Bahamas. Founded in 1997, it has philosophical ties with the UFO religion Realism. It's hard to say that word. Realism? I'm not sure. Which sees cloning as the first step in achieving immortality. Right? On December 27th, 2002, CLONEAID's chief executive, Bridget, I'm going to butcher this last name, Boiselier, like I'm not sure, claimed that a baby clone named Eve was born. Okay, and media coverage of the claim sparked serious criticism and ethical debate that lasted more than a year. Florida attorney Bernard Siegel tried to appoint a special guardian for Eve and threatened to sue CLONEAID because he was afraid that the child might be treated like a lab rat, right? Understandably, I'd think the same thing. Siegel, who heard the company's actual name was not CLONEAID, decided that the CLONEAID project was actually a sham, right? So that's why nobody talks about it anymore, I feel like. Bioethicist Clara Alto, these names are really important because every one of these names you look up and it's just another can of worms. It's unbelievable. Claire Alto condemned CLONEAID for premature human experimentation and noted the high incidence of malformations and thousands of fetal deaths in animal cloning. Okay, so I got into that, and I kept looking because there's all kinds of information here. You guys can look this up. They get into talking about their okay, well. Let's get to what I did next. The next thing that I did is I typed in CLONEAID. I'm just like, well, see if it comes up, right? So CLONEAID, and boom, there's cloneaid.com. So let's have a look at cloneaid.com. Let's see what they're doing. So welcome to our website, Pioneers in Human Cloning. They've got a really professional looking website here. Feel free to browse our site and learn more about what we're about. Let's start with services. What do they do?
Here. Can I stop you? Can I stop you for a second?
Go ahead. You can say whatever you'd like, man, because I do need breaks in my voice. I can't talk for 2 hours straight, but I mean, this is a lot of information I got to get through pretty quick. So go ahead.
All right, let me jump in real quick before you get started. So, like, if you don't know, if whoever's watching isn't familiar with the Bahamas, the way that the Bahamas works is a lot of the laws that are prevalent for the rest of the world, like anti-human cloning, money laundering. I believe there's it's a tax haven in the Bahamas. So it's not surprising to see. Well, I mean, it's very disturbingly surprising to see a Canadian company, but it's not surprising to see that to hear that they would go to this country where the regulations are so lax. And I think it's been pretty well known for a while. I think I heard this on Tinfoil Hat. Is Bahamas is like a satanic hub. There's a lot of like dark shit going on there. I don't want to say voodoo, but it's something close to voodoo. And it's pretty well known that like that place has been a haven for less than legal stuff. And I gotta say, man, look at this fucking website. If you think any of this shit is made the fuck up, check out this website. This is not a joke. This is a real fucking website by crazy people. All right, continue if you like there. I'll address the rapper. Yeah. I'll just address him real quickly, actually. You know, obviously about that rapper there, we've seen anybody could easily say this guy's just got mental problems. He's crazy. That one thing he said about the piece of bone storing memory, obviously I'm no genius. That sounds a little far-fetched. You know, overall, that interview seemed pretty convincing because just, you know, if he's an actor, he's a pretty good actor because he didn't laugh. It didn't seem like there was any cuts in that interview. Like, did you see any cuts? I don't think I saw any cuts. So, you know, I don't know. It's either the guy's been MK all brainwashed to actually believe that shit, or there's a good chance he's the product of these experiments. But all I got to say about that is, you know, watching it a couple times, it's like, oh, okay, buddy. Okay. But the longer you listen to it, you know, the more it seems like this guy is convinced of what he's saying, whether it's real or not. Yeah. He is convinced of what he's saying.
Comment on that?
Go ahead, jump in, Steve.
I mean, like, you started out with a really good point in saying that possibly he's just fucked up and he did too much drugs and that he's high, right? Because that's a very good possibility that, you know, he's at the point where his brain isn't working properly and he's imagining things. Maybe he looked up this information and came to the conclusion that he is one of those clones, right? That could be the case.
Maybe he was brainwashed,
but, you know, yeah, true. But
he was brainwashed.
I agree with you that he seemed very he seemed to, like, he didn't have any indications that told me that he was making shit up and lying. Like, it's kind of,
or that he's mentally ill. He didn't seem mentally ill.
When you meet a lot of liars throughout your life, you learn how to call out a liar. You can kind of tell that somebody's bullshitting you. You can be like, yeah, you know, you might go along with it and be like, yeah, okay, but you're thinking to yourself, that's fucking bullshit. Like, that's not, you know, you're talking
usually
shit.
They've got a big fucking smirk.
Before I get out of like off track here, let's go back to what I was saying. So I just wanted to read a bit of this for you guys. I got to get this back onto there so it's like straight kind of. Is that? I'm in a bad spot here. I wish I had a proper like setup here, but that's. I'll just read some of this. So Clonaid is the. I'll just let you know. So services, right? Services. Clonaid is the world's leading provider of reproductive human cloning services. Eve, the first clone baby, was born December 26, 2002. Thanks to our team of highly skilled scientists, since then, we've been able to help a number of patients to have their own children through our cloning technology. So CLONEAID can help you if you're sterile, have lost hope of having the child you dream of, if you're homosexual and deeply desire a child who would carry your own genes, if you've just lost or are about to lose a beloved family member and would like to see an identical twin of that person begin a new life, if you're HIV positive and want to have a child that would be your genetic twin without infecting either the baby or your partner with the virus, if you simply want to be cloned, whatever your reasons may be. And that's my favorite at the end. If you just simply want to be cloned, whatever your reasons may be. Like, just, you know, whatever, right? You just want to have a double of yourself.
Today, no questions asked.
So here's an overview of the process steps.
24 hours or less.
Here's the process steps. So an overview of the process steps. Number 1, first fill out our contact form. I haven't clicked that yet. I'm going to keep reading here. I haven't checked that out yet because I kind of almost want to see if that's legit too. Because part of me wants to think that this is just a joke, right? But the farther we get into this, you're going to realize it really isn't. One of our representatives will contact you to discuss the situation and goals. Our medical team will evaluate your case. If your application is approved, we will make arrangements to obtain cells from the cell donor, the person who is to be cloned. Over the next several weeks, the donor cells will be optimized for nuclear transfer, the cloning step of the process. We then retrieve eggs from either the patient or an egg donor and proceed with the nuclear transfer using the donor cells taken earlier. Number 6, after several days, the clone embryo will be implanted into the patient's womb or that of the surrogate mother. The patient or surrogate mother will carry the fetus to term through a normal 9-month pregnancy. The baby, a genetic twin or clone of the cell donor, will be delivered, and a new human life, that of the desired child, will begin! Exclamation mark. So it says micro-human cloning is safe, is a safe reproductive choice, and our success rate is similar to those of other assisted reproduction techniques. Now, if you get looking more into this website, they talk about their products. I'm not going to read this all out because there's a lot. I just had to read that one part because that was the one that really blew my mind. Like, I'm realizing it's a real company. I'm like, these guys are ready to take your money and do this.
Read some of the products for us, Steve. Just read like 3 of them.
Would you like to hear it? Okay, so embryonic cell fusion redefined. The new RMX 2010 is a new cell fusion device specialized in embryonic cell fusion. Developed by the Clonaid scientific team, trademark, by the way, Clonaid trademark, scientific team, RMX 2010's main features are generation of clear and stable pulses enabling direct fusion, which is something unseen in competitors' devices. Now that quote really got me. That's what got me onto the next point that we're going to get to right now, because I was like, whoa, competitors? Oh, so there's other companies doing this, right? So yeah, I have so many jots about that. So just wait. So it goes on and on. You probably don't want to hear the rest of it. It's a lot of bullshit. Like a highly precise square wave is applied to the cell or embryo through a chamber or needles. Operating range 5 to 200 volts, 10 to 990 volts, 1 to 10 repetitions with 1 to 990 ms period. A memory function enabling the storage of up to 4 fusion settings. A foot switch, cool. A foot switch allowing both of your hands to be available for operating other equipment. That's just an awesome feature. With this new and revolutionary device, you will achieve significantly lower lysis rates. I don't know what that means. And much higher fusion rates. Cool. I don't know what any of that means, but that's a product that they have. And it goes on and talks about all the
opposite of fusion. Hey, Stevie.
Sorry?
Lysis must be the opposite. Lysis must be a failed fusion. By the context, it sounds like a lysis is a failed fusion. Just by the context, the word surrounding it.
Now I kind of messed up because I probably should have gone into that because I pretty much covered everything else. But we can talk about. I can quickly look up lysis. What's lysis? Here, I'll look it up really quick. Lysis. It doesn't want to come up. No, I don't want that whole word. Just lysis. What is lysis? It doesn't come up. Lysis, the disintegration of a cell by rupture of the cell wall or membrane. That's what lysis is. So the disintegration of a cell by rupture of the cell wall or membrane. Interesting. Okay, so that's what that means.
Let me ask you this, humble viewer. Let me ask you this, humble viewer. You think this company is fucking around or using real words? They've got highly technical babble. This is a real fucking thing. This is a real company. And I got to tell you, I first angry at the parents. I still kind of am. But it's like, I've always, what if I can't have kids? I really want to have a kid. It's like, what? I could just have a clone of myself? Honestly, I would love that. Obviously, it's probably like against the Lord's wishes and shit. But it's like obviously a very attractive thing. But what you got to ask yourself is how many times does your cells go to waste killing a fucking living creature before you get one? Like they said earlier in this, there's a high rate of mutations and stuff. It's like you got to think how many fucking deformed fucking human beings go in the trash for you to get your little baby Alex Jr. You know what I mean? Little Steven Jr. Anyway,
I can mention.
Yeah.
On that note, for instance, Dolly, the first clone sheep, took 277 tries before it wasn't malformed. 277 times before they got a good one, and then it ended up dying young anyways. They're like, "Oh, this one worked."
And then how do you know that this baby that you want to raise as your own child isn't just going to get fucking serious cancer 2 years in? Like, this can't be perfected. It's it can't be at that high of a level. I'm sure it is a real thing.
Well, just
But
imagine
anyways,
the
if you want to continue the
experimentation process. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but that makes me mad thinking about it. Imagine the experimentation process. Imagine all the fuck ups. You know, that's like a human being somewhat, you know, what do they just execute them and dispose of the carcass,
absolutely.
right? Like, I mean,
there's a reason that cloning is illegal, because you have to dispose of so many life forms that are not perfected. And there's
like,
all kinds of reasons, but the main
remember Alien Resurrection, where Ripley found a whole bunch of her fucked up like clones, and they were like, kill me, like just mangled test experiments, like experiments in a lab, you know, that they're testing on. It's just, this stuff gets me pissed off when I talk about it. So this is why I'm actually really there's my train again. Sorry about that, guys. Can I read you guys a little bit of history of this company, Clonaid, that's in Canada? Really quickly? I'll read it as fast as I can.
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that fine?
Yeah, for sure.
You can have the mic if you want, buddy.
You're doing great, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, you're doing great, by the way.
I appreciate it. Okay, so Clonaid trademarked. The first human cloning company in the world was founded in February 1997 by Rail and a group of investors who created the Valiant Venture Limited Corporation based in the Bahamas. In the first couple of years, Clonaid trademark has already received enormous media coverage. However, due to the pressure mounted on the Bahamas government by French journalists, Valiant Venture Limited was canceled as a government. Representatives were thinking the laboratories would be established on the Bahamas Islands. Meanwhile, the list of serious potential customers had grown to more than 250 people. Therefore, during the year 2000, Rail decided to hand over the Clonaid project to Dr. Bridget Boisselier. I don't even care, I butcher her name. And Raelian Bishop, and it also Aurelian Bishop, so like one of their priests or whatever in their religion, in order for her to start working on actually cloning the first human being with a team of well-trained scientists. Dr. Boisselier has a PhD degree in physical and biomolecular chemistry. In her last job, she was marketing director for a large chemical company in France. In the summer of 2000, an American couple that wanted to help develop this technology in order for them to have a baby contacted Dr. Boisselier or whatever. They were the first major investors funding the equipment and the laboratory needed. And Clonaid's first human cloning laboratory was set up in early 2001. In the summer of 2001, following several visits from U.S. government representatives in our facilities, Clonaid decided to pursue its human cloning project in another country where human cloning is legal. There's their history. And like, I mean, they just put it right out there. They don't even care, right? Like, they're so vulgar. They're just like, we're doing it and we like what we're doing. They're proud of it. Frequently asked questions. I said I wasn't going to read through the whole thing, but it's so fucking interesting, dude. Like, everybody should come and look at this just to see that it's actually real. Because when I first saw it, I'm like, this has to be a joke website. It has to be like just fake. If it's a fake, it isn't, because okay, I went and fact checked. So yeah, we'll get past this. It goes on and on about what human cloning is. You know, it comes from the Greek and means asexual reproduction. Blah 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 blah. Who is it for? It's talking about brain disorders, diabetes, spinal cord damage, autoimmune disorders, blood, bone marrow, cancer, stuff like that. So like, in my mind, I think that what are they going to grow a whole body and then use those parts and then discard the body? Like, I'm not sure how they do that. Would they just grow that part? Not sure, but they can do that.
Well, they say that they can. They say that they can clone single parts. They say they can clone like a heart or like a liver. I don't believe them, to be honest, but that's what they claim.
Didn't you see that picture though? There was a picture they grew an ear on like a rat. or something. I remember seeing that. They grew like a human ear on a rat. I remember seeing that. It could be fake. I don't know. But this is okay.
No,
I want to
real.
add
That's
this.
The human
ear
growing on the since then they've grown a human ear on an apple too, using a cell CRISPR. They're doing all kinds of shit. But the thing you heard about an ear on the mouse, that is real. That is 100%. I read a book that had that in there, a Michael Crichton book. Same author of Jurassic Park, for people who don't know. But anyway, sorry.
I want to add that this is like their only savior, like their only salvation, I'd say, like in their actions. And I don't agree with it, but I get it. It kind of gives you like a view of why they're doing it. They say, in addition, it will help to save the lives of thousands of people worldwide waiting for an organ transplantation by helping to create artificial organs. Not only is it difficult today to obtain an organ, but even if organs are available, many are being rejected by the body because of incompatibility, let alone the brutal way some organs are being obtained, i.e. buying them from people in third world countries or even extracting them without the donor's consent. A therapeutic cloning will eventually provide genetically 100% compatible organs such as livers, kidneys, etc., and therefore save the lives of those who would perish without it. So there's, that's the only thing that I like out of this. They're like, okay, we're trying to save people. Like, yeah, I get it.
Well,
but still, like,
well, and like, I mean, that's what you should be doing. That's the kind of stuff they should be doing. If it's possible to grow a heart or a lung, that's the stuff they should be looking into. But like this stuff of growing a whole new life form, whether or not you're religious, that is attempting to play God. And, I just don't think it's the right thing to be fucking around with. And like, when we have these conversations, real quick, to jump to a different subject about AI, it's the same kind of thing. We're trying to create a life form. We don't know what we're opening the door to. And all I got to say is, imagine once this stuff becomes mainstream. There's already a lot of rumors about celebrities being replaced once they don't want to follow anymore. There's a lot of rumors about, especially politicians. Let's say Trump. Let's say Trump really did win. Let's say he really was an outside force, and they're like, "Fuck, they fucked the system. Fuck, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Oh yeah, we've got a Donald Trump fucking clone in the basement. We're gonna go get him. We'll take out Trump and we'll replace him, and he'll be our man on the inside." Like, there's no limit to how dark this can get. I agree with growing organs for people. At the same time, I tend to think there could be artificial versions. But I mean, yeah, man, this stuff is just next level. And not only is it disturbing, but
it's gonna get crazier, really, dude. You're gonna freak out. I'm only at the beginning. I'm on the first page of 5. And I'm not even halfway down the page. We're gonna have to do 2 shows. Like, we'll see what happens. Okay. I do have one interesting question though, which was mentioned by my mother. Would a clone have a soul? Like, would it?
Yes, for sure.
Like, it's just, I don't know how to, like, I can't answer that, but like, it's an interesting question. Would have a soul. But then that brings upon the question, are souls a real thing? Is that, like, we don't really know. Like, I feel like we have souls, but like, it's just like, what does that even mean? Is it your?
Why do you think that
your demeanor and your Sorry, go ahead.
Obviously, it's just your mind. I mean, I don't know. We can't. I mean, you probably could go and ask your mom. I don't think she wants to be part of our show, but
I don't believe in souls. I think we all have souls because everybody, like, look at even like your family pet, like your dog. They feel like they're part of the family. They feel like they're human almost. Like, that dog has a fucking soul. I'm telling you right now. I hate that when people say that small creatures, that it's a soulless creature, ants, what if an ant has a soul? Like, we could go on and on about that. That's a different show. Let me get back to this. I got so much to talk about, dude. So just what I'm going to talk about now, you're really going to like this. I don't want to get off track. We can always talk about souls a different day, brother. So what I'm getting onto now is Clonaid's competitors. So of course, what would you do? Logically, you'd go to Google and you just type in CLONEAID's competitors. And of course, like I was saying before when we were on the phone, it won't give you the autocorrect. It won't show you what you're typing until you type the whole thing in on any of these subjects, any of the names involved in this whole subject. It's crazy. Like, you have to get the spelling right and everything. Competitors. So it comes right up. You got, this one's funny. It's from zoominfo.com. So you got Clonaid description, pioneers in human cloning, the first human cloning company, right? And headquarters, Bahamas, website, cloneaid.com, which we just looked at. They got 52 employees, they say. Revenue, $10 million, I'm assuming, per year. So that's interesting. I had a quick little look at that. So then you scroll down. Well, look, you see their competitors. The number one competitor of Clonaid is called Human Cloning Foundation. It doesn't show how much they make a year, but it says that they have 52 employees. Sorry. There's number 2, Genetic Savings and Clone. 62 employees, $12 million of revenue. Number 3, Trans Ova Genetics. And I mean, I went through and I looked at all these companies, and that's where I fell into this rabbit hole, because every one of these companies has these crazy scientists involved in them that are doing all kinds of crazy shit. So that's why this is such a deep rabbit hole. But okay, so Trans Ova Genetics, $39 million revenue, 230 employees. J. Craig Venter. Now, this one I highlighted because we're going to get right into that. That guy is a fucking cocksucker. Like, excuse my language, but he actually made me mad when I read into him. So J. Craig Venter Institute, 213 employees, $61 million revenue. Cubisys, Kubisys, Cubisys, maybe? I don't know, 22 employees. They don't talk about their money. They don't. The International Society for Stem Cell Research is involved in this, of course, right? Why wouldn't they be? They say they only have 30 employees, which is hilarious. We only have 30 people working here at the International Society for Stem Cell Research. But no, it's just
it does. It makes sense, Steve, because
well, maybe that's just the scientists. Maybe they have 30 scientists.
Yeah.
Let me just finish this off real quick, and I'll let you talk for a minute because I do need a little bit of a break. But yeah, PPL Therapeutics, which is another one to take down in notes because it's really scandalous. 76 employees, $15 million revenue. International Milk Genomics. Now, this is a word that is worth actually getting the definition for because it's really key in this whole situation. International Milk Genomics Consortium. And I almost thought it was consortium, but it's consortium. So I haven't looked that up yet, but should I do it? Should I just fucking do it right now?
Genomics?
Consortium.
Oh, yeah. Genomics is the study of the genome.
An association typically of several business companies. Huh. Okay. So that actually brings a lot of light. I think they use those big words to confuse people a little bit sometimes, eh? What's genomics? Let's just go ahead and look up genomics. Genomics.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. It's
definition.
Genomics. The genome is essentially human programming.
Do you want the official definition?
What? Yeah, no, but
I'll read it to you.
The human genome is like what shows your eye color, or what chooses your eye color, what chooses your hair colors, stuff like that. That's what the human genome is, or the rat genome, or the rabbit. So yeah, go ahead though, please.
Very good. You're paying attention. You're paying attention in science class, I feel like.
No, I didn't learn that after.
Okay.
Doing this in science class, smoking dope.
Yeah, I was always high in school, man. I'm not gonna lie. No, but the official definition is the branch of molecular biology concerned with the structure, function, evolution, and mapping of genomes. If that makes any sense.
Want to look up genome real quick?
And then, okay, so some of my other notes, I'll run by this really quickly because I haven't investigated this yet, but they have, I think these are their investors. It's Clonaid's tech stack. And it's a bunch of names like JS Deliver by Prospect One, E107 by Content Management System, PHP by PHP, jQuery by jQuery, Bootstrap by Twitter, which was interesting. I saw Twitter's in there. So they're involved somehow. Yeah, that's interesting, eh? So Font Awesome. Dude, it just gets crazier. Dude, I'm only on the first page. Do you understand why I was so fucking like freaking out when I called you? I was like, dude, you don't even know what I just stumbled upon. So anyway, so let's keep going here. We don't have enough time. Font Awesome by Font Awesome, but that's not very important. So next thing that I did is I decided to start looking at some of these names of these people that show up, right? Because why wouldn't you? You know, let's see what these people are all about. So, oh, and I will mention too, before I finish that part, they're into biotechnology. This is the first cloning company that I was talking about. They're into biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, and healthcare. That's what they do. So we've got a little bit of an article here about human cloning. That this link will be in the description after the show for sure, because this is really, everybody should read this. I can't read this whole thing. It's so long. Like, I mean, it's like half of a book. Like we'd be here all night reading that. So I'm not going to do that, but it's very important. And I actually grabbed a couple names out of here. And this is the next point that I got. So this fella named Professor Dr. Panos Zavos, we'll just have a little peek at what this guy is into. I guess we might as well go to the Wikipedia. I hate Wikipedia because I don't always believe it, right? Because anybody can edit it. But anyways, this Zavos
not
fella,
anybody can edit it.
This
Go ahead.
the mediators can, the moderators can, and I don't trust I don't trust every moderator. Like, come on. So anyways, Panos Zavos is a physiologist who was born in Cyprus and later emigrated to the United States. Zavos has been the subject of controversy for making unsubstantiated I'm sorry, everybody. Unsubstantiated claims that he can clone human beings. So this guy claims to have created and implanted cloned human embryos into surrogates, right? Like basically a body, you know. He did some really messed up stuff. Let me get into sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I thought I had it ready exactly what he did, but he's cloning claims. Okay, there it is. I'm just getting lost here in the he says here John Reed condemned Zavos' attempts to create a cloned human baby as gross misuse of genetic science. Now it gets even worse because the other fellow, which was his partner, his name is Severino Antinori. Like, I'm butchering every single name, which I don't even care because I have no respect for these people anyways. But so this fella, Severino Antinori, is an Italian gynecologist and embryologist. He has publicly taken controversial positions over in vitro fertilization and human cloning. On the 13th of May, 2016, Antoniori was arrested and accused of kidnapping a woman and stealing her ovules. So this guy was like trying to do experimentation, just kidnapping people off the street and stealing their reproductive organs, you know. And I'm trying to do an experiment here. I want to clone a human. Just a great fella, awesome guy, right?
He's a professor.
And then
he's a professor doctor.
Get this, Antonio, whatever, Severino Antori, whatever his name is, he was acquitted. He got, he ended up. Hold on a second here. I can't always believe what I'm reading, you know.
Right.
But I'm putting off some names. These are people that are involved in this situation. So that led me on to what are those guys into? Okay, so we're gonna move along really quick here now. We don't have all fucking night to talk about this. You guys can all research this for yourself because it's just too much to even tell. So these guys are into realism or something. So realism is also known as Raelianism. It's a UFO religion that was founded in the 1970s France by Claude Vorilhon, now known as Rael. Scholars of religion classify realism as new religious movement. The group is formalized. This is hard to read sometimes. Formalized as the International Raelian Movement, IRM, or Raelian Church, a hierarchical, another hard word, hierarchical.
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 It means different levels of power.
Okay.
Hierarchical.
Well, it's one of those organization under Rael's leadership. Realism teaches that an extraterrestrial species known as the Elohim created humanity using their advanced technology. An atheistic religion, it believes that the Elohim have historically been mistaken for gods. It holds that throughout history, the Elohim have created 40 Elohim human hybrids who have served as prophets, preparing humanity for news about their ultimate origins. Among those listed as prophets are the Buddha, Jesus of Nazareth, and Muhammad, with Rael himself being the 40th and final prophet. Realists believe that since the Hiroshima bomb of 1945, humanity has entered an age of apocalypse, which it is threatening itself with nuclear annihilation. I could read this all day, but I don't feel like doing it. It's a lot of. They get into talking about Raelians promote a liberal ethical system with a strong emphasis on sexual experimentation, engage in daily meditation, that's fine, and hope for physical immortality. They hope for physical immortality through human cloning, and so that's one of their main things that they're all about. So it's really interesting. So this, I'll jump ahead. Okay, hold on a second. So Rael launched Clonaid, an organization focused on research in human cloning that was led by senior Raelian Brigitte Boisselier. In 2002, the company alleged that it had successfully produced a human clone, a baby named Eve, bringing much critical scrutiny and media attention to the group. The movement has attracted further attention through its public protests in support of causes such as women's and gay rights and against nuclear testing. So I'll stop there because it just goes on and on. You guys could read this. It's just, and the interesting thing too is I don't know if you guys can see that on the screen. Their logo has a swastika in it, and I don't have a problem with the swastika because I know that it's an ancient symbol, and it was, the Germans used it for their, like for their Nazi movement. But just interesting. It's an interesting symbol.
Well, if I'm gonna say this,
there's something to say. I need to take a breath here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect. You've been doing a great job, by the way, man. I feel like I'm watching Tinfoil Hat right now. Honest to God, you are one hell of a professional, Steve. One hell of a professional, and that's why I dubbed you that. I just got a feeling. I'm like low pro. Let's say pro instead of low pro. You're now a pro. But yeah. Anyways,
okay.
You gotta love any religion that combines two of the most. The swastika and the Jew sign, the Star of David. That's beautiful. No, that stuff all sounds pretty interesting. The Raelian religion, it seems like they're a bit homophobic, which is unfortunate because I was liking it for the most part up until then. Because I'm not saying I'm a gosh darn Raelian. I'm definitely not. I do believe in God and stuff, but what I will say is I also am open to the idea that aliens could have the planet and the life on it. I mean, if you really think about it, how hard would it really be if you had millions of years as a society to master technology especially without the threat of an zealous government? Think about it. You could create technology that could easily move rocks into place, that could form rocks into spheres, or for you flat earthers, maybe some kind of flat plane floating in space. And we're hearing about genetics and stuff that these damn people in the Bahamas are fiddling around with. How hard do you really think it is to create an organism down to the point where you can just draw on a screen like a fucking iPad? And that game, I don't know if you remember this game, Steve. I had sisters at the time, but it's called like Evolution or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but there's some game called like Evolution or something like that. And you make creatures, you make other creatures, you design all the creatures on the planet, then they interact, evolve. Yeah, it's called Evolve or some shit. Evolution or something like that. And it was a game. Yeah, they're just little cartoon characters, but you get the idea. How do we know that? Yeah, how do we know? And it was said in many ancient religions, like the Greek religions, that the gods created man because they grew tired of all that stuff, you know? So, yeah, cheers, buddy. I wish I could be drinking a Pabst with you. I love Pabst, by the way. Maybe we can get them to sponsor the show one day. Pabst Blue Ribbon. If you're going to drink, have a Pabst. But, to be honest, man, it's really interesting. I think that there's a good chance that humankind probably was created by aliens. At the same time, I also believe that there's an all-powerful God. So take that as you will. Maybe God got sick of the aliens and he decided to endorse us. But a lot of stuff to take in. I'm not sure how much more you have to discuss. We can go for like 2 hours. I think it's probably the max I can put it.
Do you want to be you want me to be honest? I'm not even scratching the surface. I'm not even into it yet. Like I'm on my first. I just finished one page and I have 5 of them. So we might have to do a second show, but that's fine. There's more awesome shit. Like I got more for you. Okay, so if you want to hear some more shit,
yeah, for sure. I'm just trying to shoot up a joke once in a while. If I interrupt you, it's just usually you don't feel like you have to stop. I'm not going to jump in and say a bunch of shit without saying excuse me first. But like, if I just say like, oh, that's surprising, blah, 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 just try to hear it. If you didn't hear me, say, what'd you say? Because I want you to hear some of these jokes. I'm trying to make some snappy jokes. I think I'm doing a pretty good job too. I made a joke earlier there, so but
I'll have to direct my attention towards you because my mind is just racing right now. I'm thinking about I can't even really explain what I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking like, wow, it keeps going deeper. I want to look more into all of these the competitors. The people involved, these people are pouring money into this shit like you wouldn't fucking believe, man. Like $220 million in 2016 to Human Longevity Inc. These are things that people like Bill Gates are involved in. Like, why wouldn't he want to clone himself? I'm sure he probably already has one. Like,
exactly. Oh, he probably does.
It's something.
And they probably test the vaccine on these clones too. Come on, there's a reason that they're doing this shit. There's a reason that technology hasn't moved forward since the 70s.
That's a really good fucking point, dude. As lab rats, we'll test the vaccine on all of them. That's a good fucking point. Just saying. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Research would move forward. Just consider the world we knew yesterday, where we didn't believe in cloning and shit, where we thought it was a silly fucking thing. Okay, maybe done in the shadows, not on paper with a paper trail and people you can Google search result that are work. There's someone, by the way, I don't want to spoil it. Maybe I should save it. There is someone though working within Google that's directly related to all this shit.
I know you're taking my notes. I shouldn't have talked to you on the phone before the show, for fuck's sake. We'll get to that.
Before we get back to the reading, we can say, if you want to say anything about what you saw, I definitely would.
I'm not going to do much more reading. It's the beginning of this was a lot of reading because it's kind of making people understand, right? You kind of got to, like, I didn't want to just say, check the links in the description after, and then you'll understand, right? I kind of wanted to be like, okay, this is what we're talking about right now. I can continue. Oh, you're gonna tell me a joke.
Well, yeah.
Let's hear a joke.
Yeah, I want to tell you a joke. I've got it right here. All
Tell me a
right,
joke.
so yeah, I thought about this. The only reason I'm going to say this is I thought about this while you were talking there, and it something flickered in my mind. It's like, okay, it's not really like a huge punchline, but like, do you really think they say humans are the only animals, humans and dolphins and some that are the only animals to have sex for pleasure and not for reproduction? Now, let me tell you something. Before. I've had a lot of dogs hump my leg. I don't think they were trying to make a leg berdoodle. I don't think they were trying to make a half dog, half foot. All right. I think they were having fun humping my fucking foot. And it's like, I mean, anything. You think rabbits fuck like rabbits because they want to, oh man, I really want some babies. It's like, what do you really think? Do these people really believe that the only animal that has sex for pleasure is a fucking human and a dolphin? How arrogant are people? How arrogant are people? Like, I'm serious though. Do you believe that? I think bugs.
Can I make a point?
Flies humping doggy style the other day. I think they were doing it because it felt good. I don't think they were like, man, I want to fill up this guy's kitchen with more fruit flies, so so that he goes crazy and I can laugh at him. I think they're doing it because it feels good. So I don't know, but like anyway, I don't know why that came up. Yeah, I hope you do. Okay,
anytime you've ever witnessed like sex in the wild, in the animal kingdom, like it's always seems like it's rape. Like the female is trying to get away a lot of the time. Like I'm just saying, like a lot of the time it looks like they're trying to get away. So, you know, certain creatures, yeah, for sure have sex for pleasure, but I don't think it's all of them, man. It looks a lot like rape sometimes. I've seen a lot of Discovery Channel shit when I was a little kid. It doesn't look like she wants it. Just saying.
No.
Trying to get away.
Is the male doing it because it feels good, Steve?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not like it's not consensual if she's trying to run away from him.
No. Let's get back to consensual. Doesn't mean it doesn't feel good. Doesn't mean some dogs don't like it. You know, it's all individual. But yeah.
Well,
anyway,
okay. When the dog or whichever, I'm not sure if dogs. I know that dogs and cats go into heat every so often, right? I'm not sure if that happens to other animals, but I definitely know that a dog in heat wants it. It's or a cat. You know, it's that's their time. But yeah, I'm not sure if they enjoy it. I don't know. Ask the cat. Ask the dog. See what they tell you. Like, I have. Let me try to get back on track. You're getting me like way fucking off the rails, bud.
This isn't too bad. This is like an average episode of Tinfoil Hat.
We're good. I actually got through. I got through 2 pages. I got through 2 pages. So the next thing I want to talk about is the government info. That's more going to be something I'll send a link to because I'm not reading that. I'm not doing it. It's like
I can read
it's
it.
really long.
Bring it up on screen. I'm a good reader, so I'll read it. We don't have to bring it up on screen. We'll leave the links in the description. But if you don't want to read anymore, that's fine with me. I'll read. I love reading.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got an amazing voice for reading.
Just give me 1 second. Sorry. Talk about something for 1 second while I collect myself. You got me all off track, brother. I was right on the rails, cruising.
Yeah, no.
I'll get it, brother.
You should have some water. Maybe you can keep reading. But yeah, just let me say this about real quick.
I feel like having some more beer. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, no, you should. You should have some beer. Switch to water. But yeah, let's not get too far off. I just want to say,
I'll have water in the morning when I wake up.
If you're going to send me a link to read something, Jesus Christ, Steve, drink some water. All right. Send it in the comments of StreamYard because I can't open anything up. It won't work. It's going to lag my computer. So, but yeah, you're doing a great job, man. Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, holy fuck. So far, the stuff that we've heard today is, number one, we started off with a video about a rapper claiming he was cloned by, what the fuck was the company called? What was it again? CanClone or Clonaid. I'm glad you remember. And yeah, he's saying that he's the Gen 2, that there was another guy before that and he wanted to be cloned at his death. And if this company's been around since 1997, I mean, that's 23 years that they've had, correct my math if I'm wrong, but to perfect this technology. And I mean, just think, if you achieve the part where you can, let's say, clone a human from start to finish, even if you have to scrap like 50 specimens in between, if the cost is only 20 grand, if you've got millions of dollars and billionaires behind you,
Hundreds of trillions if you add it all up.
Specimens that you produce, it's like, think about this as a businessman. Each of those specimens that you do produce, even if you wasted 50 clones, you've got all that money, so you can use those clones to further your experimentation. So instead of your research as a company taking hundreds of years because you need to get willing fucking people like the Nazis did, they jumped their fucking shit ahead hundreds of years because they used unwilling participants for their experiments.
I don't think any of these people are willing. I feel like, well, I can't say any, but I feel like there's a lot of unwilling victims in this situation. A lot of them. It could have something to do with the missing 411. Maybe that's part of the reason why they're gathering up people, so they can experiment, right? Like they want to perfect what they're doing because they're trying to run a business.
For people who aren't familiar with missing 411, that's an instance of many kids and I think adults too, just disappearing in the weirdest of circumstances, and things like their clothes being found exactly a year later, or some of them were returned while they're still fine, but they're naked, their memories wiped, they don't remember anything for 48 hours, and they're usually near water and stuff like that. OBDM, one of our mutual favorite podcasts, mentions it a lot.
Thumbs up to OBDM. Love those guys.
Oh, for sure, man. If you guys don't know about it, check them out. Our Big Dumb Mouth podcast. But anyways, they one time I seen and Joe was on it too, but Mike was saying, it could be fairies, it could be goblins, it could be stuff from another dimension. And I get mad. I got mad at that point because people are disappearing. A kid with mental disabilities disappeared, and she was found starved to death a few days later. It's like that apparently there was no sexual trauma and all this and that, but I still got mad. I'm like, you don't think that they're doing this for a reason? Listen, they were in the middle of I'm not trying to shit on foreign countries, but they were in a random foreign country and everybody in the court was from that place. You don't think that they could dump $1 million on the table and all these people will do whatever the fuck you say? So that investigation means sexually assaulted my ass. Yeah. Bullshit.
In my yeah, sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off in the end of your sentence, but you got a delay going on. In my only 3 hours of research, I can give you numbers, man. I got numbers written down here. Like the amount of money being poured into this is unbelievable. Like it's blowing my mind. Like okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Can I kind of get back on track here for a second? So we got
sorry about that.
So there's another. This is a competitor of Clonaid.
Clonaid. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of too many different names at once here now. So Cellularity, I don't know where they're based out of, but Cellularity scientists were the first to recognize the human placenta as an untapped resource for innovation. One which is the basis of cellularity innovations in immuno-oncology, hematology, and regenerative medicine. Our seminal discovery of unique stem progenitor and immune cells from the placenta is the foundation of our dominating intellectual property position. With proprietary platform technology and operational expertise to harness the power of this remarkable organ, we developed a deep therapeutic pipeline across a broad range of indications. So they're messing around with some really I don't know, it's really interesting to me, and I'm not exactly sure what to think about it. I'm going to jump over into a different part of what I was trying to say to you guys. There's a lot of names. I'm going to put a whole bunch of names in the links because that's kind of where it finishes off, is you start to get looking at these people that are involved in this situation. Like, well, let's look up, we talked about Ray Kurzweil, right? Or was that us on the phone talking about that? Did I talk about this on the show?
Not yet. Go ahead and get into Ray. Yeah, it was on the phone. Get into Ray
Okay,
Kurzweil first, buddy.
So we'll get into this. So what I'm talking about now is the people that are involved in this, the people that are funding it, right? So you got Raymond Kurzweil or whatever. He's an American inventor and futurist. He is involved in fields such as optical character recognition, OCR, text-to-speech synthesis, speech recognition technology, and he likes electronic keyboard instruments. So they like to throw that in at the end, eh? It's like, oh, he likes keyboards. Cool.
The keyboard.
Yeah.
Him and the cloning.
Yeah, he likes to play the keyboard. So he's a great guy. He's, he likes to
love the keyboard. Don't all mad scientists love the fucking keyboard?
Like, if you ever have him over and you got a keyboard, he'll rock that shit out all night for you, brother. He loves the keyboard. Great guy. So, anyways, let's get into this. So the first thing that comes up where people always also ask, here, I'll flip this around so that you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. And this made me laugh instantly. Like, I laughed right away. I was actually sitting here cracking right up. Because the first thing that it says, can you see that? Can you kind of see that? The first thing that people always ask, does Ray Kurzweil work for Google? So you look at that, and the answer is Kurzweil has been employed by Google since 2012, where he is a director of engineering at Google. So that's where they're getting their text-to-speech synthesis and their speech recognition technology, right? He's the director, right? He's running the show. So yeah, and this guy is also involved in this subject that we're talking about. So, these guys are pouring serious amounts of money into this experimentation, and I think it's something people need to know about a little bit. We can get looking at. So this is another point I wanted to make. I'm sure I didn't show this to you guys yet. Did I show this to you guys yet? Let's make this full screen.
No,
so this is a hearing on cloning after claims that Clonaid impregnated a woman. Okay, so I'm going to play that. Unfortunately, it's in another language because they're in Seoul, China. S-E, and I can't remember how to spell it. But there are captions. Well, there was. YouTube hates me right now. Interesting.
There's no subtitles.
Yeah, there's no subtitles. But this is the part I wanted to pause it. So can you guys see that? This is this is what they were showing up on the screen at this press conference. It's what's it called? I'm jumbling my words here. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. It's a hearing of the National Assembly. That's what it's called. Sorry. Just wanted to get that right. But this is the graph or the diagram that they're showing the people. So you got female nucleus removed, or it's literally showing what they're trying to do. They're messing around with their genomes, right? Trying to. Here, I'll show you a little bit.
Genetic material.
I wish I had a better. Here, let me try to get this up in a. Yeah, I'll let you read it if I can stop moving it. I'm just trying to get it positioned properly. There you go. Can you see that?
Okay. So it's saying what it's showing there is that they take I believe it's the female nucleus, so it's the part of a cell, and they put that in some other another cell. They put the nucleus in a different part of the cell, and then they take a body cell like skin, hair, muscle from the person that you want to clone, and then they put it into like an egg. That's an egg in the middle that they're putting it into, because a clonal zygote is it's like a pre-embryo, right? It's like the pre-stage before an embryo. So what they're saying is they take the female cell, I guess, they put it in a host egg, and then they take a male cell and they put it in an egg, and yeah, that's fucking weird, man. I can't. That's crazy.
So, here's an interesting question: where do they get the eggs? Hey, where do they get the egg?
Sell their eggs all the time. Women can sell their eggs. It damages their reproductive organs though, but they can do that. I learned that from The Simpsons. So fuck anybody who says you can't learn something from cartoons. But yeah, you can sell your eggs.
The Simpsons actually taught me a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
The Simpsons literally predicts the future.
Wow, there's something to that though.
That's another show.
So yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, let's continue.
I don't know if
so this is the clonal zygote, right? So nucleus removed, placed inside this egg, nucleus inserted. It says right there, and then so you got your clonal zygote. That's what it says, and then you've got your clonal embryo, and then after you've got your clonal baby. There's your baby.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so they're describing this to everybody in this international, like again, I'm losing my train of thought. I don't know why this is happening, but it's an international assembly. But yeah, these guys are
the cells that they can create you a baby. That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy.
So here they're going to talk a bunch of shit that we can't understand here. Well, obviously they're all talking about it. They go on.
Don't play it. It's all good.
No, but can I show you something that you do want to see? There's a part in this that is actually
we could probably turn on the subtitles if you click on the wheel. There should be an option to turn on the English subtitles, but you'd have to read them, I think, because I don't know if we can read them. I'll read them. Fuck it.
I don't know why it's not letting me do that. It usually does, but there's.
Oh, it's all good. Forget about it. It's all good.
There's a clip, and that may or may not be an actual clip of a clone baby. Okay, because they're showing it. So here's the. This freaked me out when I saw it. I was like, whoa, because there's the head of, she's one of the directors. That's the girl that I can't pronounce her last name. Basically, or whatever. That may or may not be an actual clip of a clone baby. Right there. That's what they're showing.
I can't really tell because it's in some other language.
So, I mean,
aw, poor little baby.
I mean, we don't really know for sure, right? There's some human clone embryos, you know. Eternal life can be reached through cloning technology. That's their goal. They want to live forever, right? And this is interesting too. So, do you have something to add to that?
Us in the stream. Yeah, if you're just joining us in the stream, earlier we saw a page which was essentially an order form from a website claiming to be Clonaid. And Clonaid is a prolific Canadian company that's based in the Bahamas, where they experiment with cloning technology, cloning organs. They say if you are infertile or if you've had damage to your reproductive organs and you want to have a child, they can create an exact clone of you for you and your partner to raise. If you're gay, whatever, if you're HIV positive, and they give a bunch of reasons why. They let you exactly how they do it in exact technical terms. Like we Googled some of the stuff that they were saying, like these weird complex things. It's not a joke. It's an actual. So yeah, if you want to start reading that stuff again, I just wanted to let people know because I seen somebody else jumped on here. They might have jumped off according to YouTube statistics, but I just want to update anybody who's just jumping in there. Could have been. Yeah, go ahead.
You remember how I said to you earlier that I might have to like take off for a couple minutes? I gotta take off for like 4 minutes. All right, I'll be right back. Just Hold
me a favor.
the mic,
Grab
brother.
yourself a beer. Grab yourself a beer, okay?
I'll get myself a
Man.
nice cold fresh beer. No, I just got to use the bathroom for a second. I'll be right back.
All right, this gives me a chance to run my mouth about this stuff.
Well, you know what you should do? Look up this website. Look up equityzen.com company.
Okay.
Human longevity. And they're going to talk about their company and what they do. It's
sounds good.
It's really crazy. It's interesting.
Humanlongevity.com.
Yeah, like it's stuff that we don't really hear about ever. Yeah, type in Equity Zen. So EQUITY Zen ZEN.com. And if you wanted to get really technical, /company/human longevity. I don't know if you can actually see.
All right, we'll see what this brings up.
That's an interesting. I don't like it.
Nah, this is gonna be too slow. Unfortunately, I can't do it. Go take your bathroom break. I'll human. I think he's already gone. All right, so perfect. So yeah, basically, what we've seen so far is if you have the money, of course, today you could order a clone of yourself through this Bahamas-based company. And when I heard my new partner here, Steve, telling me about this stuff, I was really angry. I was like, they're trying to play God. They're obviously doing this for evil. They're obviously doing this for all the wrong reasons. We did find that their company was basically connected to some kind of new religion, or I'd say it's probably closer to a bit of a cult, where they believe aliens created the earth and all that stuff. And, I could see aliens creating the earth, but anyways, I digress. All I got to say about this is there is definitely some positive applications to cloning. If they can, excuse me, if they can liver or a heart or something like that, or like, I don't know, I'm kind of against the idea of making a human without the natural way, like without, but I mean, you got to think it would be nice to help people who can't have kids have kids. At the same time, you got to think how many babies have to die and become malformed and become mutated in the test tubes that get flushed down the toilet before they get a viable human specimen. It's got to be at least 2 or 3. They don't have it perfected. It's only been 20 years, and science has been around for hundreds of years. It's still not anywhere near perfected. So there's that. There's the human cost involved, and let's face it, if they don't have to follow about cloning, they're not going to be honest if they flush 50 of your children down the toilet that are all deformed. And for me, that's kind of disturbing. But if they can do it where it's just cloning organs and it's for like the betterment of humankind, that's the kind of stuff that we should be putting money into. At the same time, when I hear that they're trying to do it for immunotherapy to save people from cancer, I got to say this. I wanted to say it earlier, but obviously we were getting into the nitty-gritty. There is a cure for cancer. The cure is high THC cannabis oil and probably to some extent the CBD and the terpenols that are in it. And it makes me sick. I'm part of this group on Facebook, and every day it's called, by the way, it's called Naturally Healing Cancer. And every day I see people saying, "Oh, I'm going through chemo. I'm going through radiation. How could weed help me?" And it's like a lot of them are on there like asking about RSO, which is Robson oil, which is the high THC oil that has been shown to shrink tumors and even reverse like thyroid cancer and even leukemia, which is blood cancer, one of the hardest to treat, in children and in adults and even older people by 80%. Now, ask what the success rate of chemotherapy and fucking radiation is. It's not even anywhere near that. It's probably 30%. And they tell you when you're getting it, my mother's had cancer twice. They tell you when you're getting it, it's going to shorten your life about 10 years, or you usually get, it's not going to shorten your life by 10 years. It's going to guarantee that you get some form of it or another of cancer in the next 10 years because they're blasting your body with gamma radiation. And I have no idea what chemotherapy is, but my mom got really sick. So right now, my cousin, Robert Doby, say a prayer for him if you know him. He has had thyroid cancer for about 5 or 6 months. He's not taking chemotherapy. He's not doing that treatment. He's taking high THC RSO oil, and he feels like $1,000,000. He's still going to the gym every day. He's doing his jiu-jitsu every day, and he's working out, and he's still strong. He just ran a marathon not too long after his diagnosis. So it just goes to show you. And there's many stories of people healing themselves from cancer. Like when I hear that they're trying to do it to fight cancer, yeah, sure, that's great and everything. But there's already a cure out there, and it grows in the ground, and it's legal in our country. So I just want to do that little bit of a PSA. It's fucking disgusting that I have to listen to every year, Chio lottery for the kids. Help these poor little kids get their fucking cured of their cancer. Look, he's got a shaved head. Oh no. RSO oil could cure those kids. And why are they dying? Corporate fucking greed. Listen, healthcare might be free in Canada, but somebody still makes money off it. Those vials that they gave my mom were worth $30,000 each. They charge $100,000 in the States, but she was telling me that this cost the government $30,000. So it shows there is contracts being filled to treat cancer. So I just wanted to take a moment while you were gone and say, you know, whenever you hear something, oh, we're trying to treat cancer, we're trying to treat cancer. You can cure cancer. They just don't want to, and it makes me fucking sick. So anyway, we'll get back to the show now. But yeah, did you have a good bathroom break?
Yeah, thank you very much for letting me take a little break there. I kind of need that. Did we talk about human longevity? That fella? Did we talk about Craig Venter?
No, not yet.
No? Okay, well, let's get right into that, because this is another. I mean, anybody that's watching this, if you want to get like into some really messed up stuff, any of these names are linked to names and more names and companies and businesses. Like it gets deeper and deeper the more you look at it. So, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. Some of these guys are really messed up people, but yeah, we'll have a little chat about that.
The deeper you go, the more proof the more proof that you get, and the more you start to realize that there is something to this. And we need to expose this. We need to let people know, because technology on the whole, whether or not this is being used for good or evil, or pure evil, or satanic rituals even, we need to let people know that this technology is existing, and it's out there, and it's being used every day. Think about the space infrastructure. Do you think that since they went to the moon, they've only gone 5 times and they never went back? Oh, it's too expensive.
If they went to the moon.
Wars.
Just saying.
What do you think? Real quick. This is
you want me to be honest with you, brother? I don't think they went. Just saying. Okay. That's me.
You're not a flat earther, though.
That's my opinion. I don't know. No, we could have another fucking show about that too. We could talk about that all day, probably. Actually, that's like a 5-hour show. Especially if you think they went. If we were gonna have like a debate, man, we'd be into the. We'd be until.
I don't know shit, but I do know this. If they could, let's say, convince a bunch of people that the Earth was flat. Or if they could, say, convince a bunch of people, like the predecessor to that theory, which is way more for intelligent people, is they didn't go to the moon. A lot of intelligent people believe that because of the radiation belt, because of all the other different things, how hard it would be to calculate that stuff, on and on and on. But all I got to say is, if you can convince somebody that your highest technology is not real, and you can do it all under the fucking map for 50, 60 years, imagine how much power you have. Imagine what different class you can create for the rich and the fucking poor workers like us. We're never going to go to space. I sure as fuck ain't. They're looking, if you want to go to space right now, contact Elon Musk, aka Werner von Braun Jr., which he's probably his fucking son. He'll send you to Mars for free. They might take you. That's what it's true.
You got me laughing now. That's actually funny. I mean, maybe he is. He looks kind of German, doesn't he? Is he German? Yeah, I don't even know.
No, he's South African. He's South African.
He says so. He looks German, dude. He even talks kind of like a German a little bit.
Come on, he's South African.
Dude, I'm mostly German, so I Okay, if I were to see him just walking down the street, I'd probably say, yeah, it looks like German dude, without him saying anything. He's got that facial structure. Is I'm not allowed to say that. Sorry, and that's not PC. Sorry. Is that like
Steve? You see him on the street, be like,
someone's... We can't talk over each other either.
Sorry. Say Achterlieden Hoser. He'll be like, oh, wie von Snarden. He'll be run away.
I'm not even going to test out the little German that I know, because I will botch it all to hell, and it'll just not doing it. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn, but I probably sound like a total idiot.
Steve says, I'm not going to try out the German that I do know. It's mostly very anti-Semitic, and
I don't want to botch it like online, right?
That's great.
Sound like a complete idiot. I probably already sound like a little bit of an idiot with all this shit that I just researched and going on about. But I mean, it's so deep. Like the more you look at it, well, like what I was going to say, I was going to talk about human longevity. That's just another word, a weird word too. Longevity. Is that how you're supposed to pronounce it? Longevity?
I believe so. Yeah.
Human Longevity Incorporated. On March 4th, 2014, Venter and co-founders Peter Diamond Dees. He's got a weird name. He's a Greek engineer, physician, and entrepreneur, known for being founder and chairman of the X Prize Foundation. There's another thing to look into now. Watch, it gets deeper and deeper. Co-founder and executive chairman of Singularity University and co-author of the New York Times bestsellers in Abundance, The Future is Better. A little bit about that guy. But so him and Robert Hariri, they always sound like foreign, like there's weird names to pronounce, and I'm botching all of them, and I apologize. But they announced the formation of Human Longevity Incorporated, a company focused on extending the healthy, high-performance human lifespan. At the time of the announcement, the company had already raised $70 million in venture financing, which was expected to last 18 months. Venter served as the chairman and chief executive officer until May 2018 when he retired. The company said it plans to sequence 40,000 genomes per year with an initial focus on cancer genomes. So yeah, they're like, I get it. They're trying to do a good thing. I understand. No, it's just interesting that we don't hear about it, right?
Fucking bullshit.
There's got to be some scandalous shit going on. Like,
no, if they want to cure cancer, they can do it tomorrow. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. So that's bullshit. That makes me mad.
Human longevity. Well, this is Wikipedia, so it could be completely doctored. Like, you can't take this as fact. So, I mean, I am reading off Wikipedia.
At the same time, they're pretty good. But yeah, go ahead and read some more. I don't want to keep interrupting you there. We want to stay on track. An hour and a half.
Human Longevity filed a lawsuit in 2018 against Venter, accusing him of stealing trade secrets. The lawsuit was ultimately dismissed by a California judge on the basis that Human Longevity were unable to present a case that met the legal threshold required for a company or individual to sue when its trade secrets have been stolen. So that's a mouthful to take in. Human Longevity's mission is to extend healthy human lifespan by the use of high-resolution big data diagnostics from genomics, metabolomics, microbiomics, proteomics, and the use of stem cell therapy. So yeah, they're into a whole bunch of different things. So bunch of rich, well-funded scientists is what they are. They're getting a whole bunch of money to do what they're doing. So seems like the people that have a lot of money on this planet really want to push this forward. It seems that way. That's what
I mean,
that's what I gather out of
dude,
it. Why would they
something that
pour?
really needs to be is we need to fix the education system, man. Because if you tell the average person on the street this, they might be interested, but how much are they really going to realize? Like this, the implications of this are all science being hidden. Like, yeah, you discovered this on a Google search, but I mean, it's not advertised. It's not on the news. And it's like when you look at what is on the news, Snooki got a new ass today. What the fuck? Donald Trump went golfing today. What the fuck? I didn't hear nothing about fucking Clonaid. So I mean, man, it's just I just want to say like the implications of the science doesn't belong to the people anymore. Imagine where science would be if it belonged to the people. All right, I wouldn't scream about fucking weed curing cancer. We'd be screaming about why can't I get fucking virtual porn applications and something that matters. You know what I mean? Something that I want to talk about. Instead, I got to scream about fucking cancer. So anyway, we'll go on. I'm not trying to get off topic, but I felt like that's kind of in the realm here. This is revealing so much that is a real thing. And we're not told about it.
It's just fine. It's just my mind's been blown today, dude. Like a couple hours ago, or a few hours ago by now. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. But my mind was literally blown. Like I legit thought that human cloning was a complete myth, that it didn't exist. I was like, yeah, the movie programming worked, right? Because I'm like, I saw a whole bunch of movies about that shit. You know?
Exactly.
I figured that it was, I thought maybe possibly some crazy scientist somewhere did it and it worked or something maybe, or tried and it was a botched experiment. But to actually hear that there's companies and there's prices, like we can look up did we do that yet? Do you want to do that?
Oh, let's go clone shopping.
Do you want to look up how much does it cost to clone yourself? And Google just goes right with it, right? I don't know why.
Do it. I want to.
I'll get the camera right up to the screen. How much? Oh, I can't even spell right now. I think I've had too many beers, dude. Does it?
No, you need another one. Steve, I'm going to clone myself. We're going to start a GoFundMe, and we're going to make a clone of myself. Maybe we'll make a clone combining my and your DNA, and then we'll have our son without any weird shit happening.
That'd be really creepy and weird, and that's it. We're going to go with that idea. Yeah. I'm glad that you said there's not going to be any weird shit, because wouldn't that be straight up weird though? Because you'd have to tell everybody this is our son. Like right away, they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, so you guys are gay." I mean, like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but okay. So
no, but it wouldn't
getting back to what we're talking about. Do you want to see this? So how can I? Where's the actual? Oh, it's right there. So can you see the screen?
Yeah, it's just not all the text is on the screen.
I'll read it to you. Zavos believes, that's the guy that we were talking about earlier, he estimates the cost of human cloning to be at least $50,000, hopefully dropping in price to the vicinity of $20,000 to $10,000, which is the approximate cost of in vitro fertilization. And that's from Kirby, 2001, another company that we already talked about. That I think so. Was it Kirby or was it a different K name? I don't know. I could be wrong. But anyways, although there are other estimates that range from 200,000 to 2 million, and then it just says Alexander 2001. So I don't know what that means. But this is coming from the what state university? Like the more you look into this, the more it gets crazy. Like there's full on. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's receipts. You could probably find a picture of a receipt. Maybe I'll Google that. Receipt for human clone. You know, what was that movie, The Fifth Day, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where the bad guy, it was actually really fucking funny because the bad guys kept getting killed. They kept getting, like, fucked up by Arnold. Their heads got blown off or whatever, right? And they'd be like, oh, again? I have to get cloned again? Fuck. They come back. There was like they could tell how many times they'd been cloned because underneath their eyelid there was like little dots. Did you ever see that? The Fifth Day?
No, that sounds like a hidden gem. I've never even heard of this.
It's a fucking awesome movie, dude. Watch it. It's really good. And I almost feel like that's them just shoving it in our face. Like, this is what we're already doing. Fuck.
Listen, well, for a long time, it's been like that. They prep your mind with that so that when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's just silly movie. No, that was a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, no, it's like what you were just saying. It's like, or man, it's like every time that a new movie comes out, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's probably gonna suck fucking balls. Excuse my language.
These
for all you
days,
children out
they
there.
all
Somehow
do. There's no good movies coming out these days, man. PC culture ruined it.
I get far more excitement. Sorry. I get far more excitement out of hearing about a hidden gem like that, like you just told me, than I ever do about a new movie. Fuck no, I want to watch that now. We're gonna find that and watch it over Zoom together. So we'll watch it together on here.
Day. You know, I better check. Like, we're literally online. I'm talking shit. I don't even know. The fifth day.
It's called the Fifth Dawn. You asshole. You fucking asshole.
Can you imagine?
Put pressure on my ass. Yeah, some nerd.
No, I got it totally wrong. So I'm glad I checked that. So it's an Arnold clone movie. I'll type that in. Google's the best, eh? Especially when you have a shitty memory and you smoke a lot of pot.
Bro, their slogan used to be "Do no evil." They used to be a good company. They used to be good people, or maybe that's what it seems. Now their slogan is something else.
I legit just got the number wrong. It's the 6th day. It's the 6th one. I'm off by a number, so the 6th day is the clone movie that you want to watch. It's fucking awesome. It's a sci-fi movie. It's like, it's fucking awesome, man. If you like science fiction, you'll enjoy it.
Not only do you get two intelligent Canadian patriots talking about cloning and hidden secrets, but you also get killer movie recommendations. The 6th day, Arnold Schwarzenegger co-starring. Who's the co-star? Does it tell you who co-stars? No, who co-stars in that movie?
Are you talking about this show? Al's my co-star.
No, I'm talking about movie The 6th Day. Do you remember who else is in it?
No, I have no idea, man. Basically, Arnold's he's the star. Well, I'll look it up right now. Let's check it out. I got Google at my fingertips here. It's nice to talk about. No, but it is nice to talk about something different every once in a while to just refresh your palate. Cleanse your palate. Have a sniff of some coffee beans. Wake up and smell the coffee, and then you can get back into the fucked up shit, right? Because it is fucked up.
We had tonight. We had like 6 years.
So the 6th day, it's about cloning, futuristic action film about a man who meets a clone of himself and stumbles into a grand conspiracy about clones taking over the world.
Oh, so
now good,
the truth is out. Now we know why you're doing this, dog. You just cracked the fucking code, bro.
That's exactly what's happening.
Schwarzenegger. We got to get Arnold Schwarzenegger to fucking to save us, man. He's still out there. He's still alive. How do we know he's not a clone, though? He could be a clone.
You asked to know what his co-star was. The first one that comes up, I'm assuming that's the co-star, is Michael Rappaport.
No way! I know that guy, dude. He's been on fucking Church of What's Happening Now, Joey Diaz's podcast. He's been on fucking.
He's hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's been
fucking hilarious.
No way, he's the bad guy.
I love his type of humor, like his comedy style. Like he always acts oblivious. Like he's always like, fuck. He's a good comedian. Have you seen it? He does stand-up too, doesn't he? Well, we can do that so. We have YouTube at our fingertips.
Let's get back to the cloning shit, Steve. Let's get back to that cloning shit real quick. We've got about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes left.
I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything. I'm still investigating this, man. I'm still researching because There's so much. Like when you start looking at the names and stuff, and you research them and who they know, it's like everybody's pouring. And the amount of money, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, what was the number I said earlier?
Dude. Coronavirus, they're taking
$220 million to Human Longevity Inc. in 2016. Like, where did that $220 million go? And it was $80 million in 2014. So,
Steve.
What did you find something?
Corona, yeah, just something just blasted in my brain, yo. Think about this. We just heard about the clones taking over the world, all right? We just heard about the clones. Every time they test you for coronavirus, they're sticking something up your nose. They're taking your fucking DNA. I heard somebody say this a few months ago. Somebody said this a few months ago. They're taking your DNA.
They're taking your DNA, dude.
Until now, I thought that they were doing it so the robots could track you. But now it makes sense.
Dude,
if you want to get rid of somebody, send them to
that's an epiphany. Do you remember, you remember that website, Ancestry? It's still around, Ancestry.com or whatever, and they want you to send them your DNA. You pay them to give them your DNA, and then they probably make a clone of you or something. Like, they're like, oh, you want to know where you came from, what your ancestry is? Send us a swab of your DNA, and we'll tell you all about it. You know, it's probably bullshit information, too, that they tell you. They probably just lie to you. They probably like, there's a guy that his job is to write a bullshit ancestry for you. You know, that he just sits there and he's writing, he makes it up. He's like, oh, I'm going to tell this guy that he's an ancestor of Julius Caesar. He's going to be all excited. I'm going to be like, yo, this, you know, I'm going to tell this guy is related to Jesus. Okay, like we're gonna really fuck with this guy's head. He's gonna be like, oh my god, I'm the second coming. You know, like.
I've heard some other people say that they are collecting your DNA so that in the future, when cloning becomes commercially available and cheaper, if you want to be cloned so that you can become young again, then they'll put you in a young body. I don't believe that. I think that's all bullshit. I think people who believe that they can have their memories transferred are very foolish, especially all these rich people. I'm gonna live forever. You can't live forever. The only way you could do that is by becoming a machine. And who the fuck wants to give up their humanity to live forever? I might when the time comes if I done well, but not be close.
Okay, I have an interesting point that I just wanted to say, because I was thinking about this when I was trying to realize whether or not what that rapper was saying was true, like about the bone in his head right there. That is where your pineal gland is, so maybe it's behind the bone. So I don't know. That would make more sense if he said the pineal gland, but he said your consciousness is in a bone in your forehead. Well, like there's a fella, a young kid. I saw this years ago on some real TV show or something. He got shot in the head with a magnum, and it blew half of his brain out, like, or close to half of it. Like, you remember seeing that? Like, he had like a huge like hole in his head, like, and it blew a lot of his brain out. And that just makes me wonder, where is your consciousness in your brain? Because he wasn't all fucked up or anything. He was still normal. Like, he still had his memories, and he was the same person. Look it up. Kid gets. Do you want me to look it up? Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Kid gets shot by magnum in head.
Keep talking.
I need both hands to it. Go take a piss. Yeah, it was on, I think there was a show called Real TV at one point. And it was just like viral videos, basically. This was years ago. But yeah, this kid somehow lived after a gunshot wound right to the head, and it like blew almost half of his brain right out. I don't know if that'll ever show up. Doesn't seem to be doing it for me. Sorry, I'm not talking. I have trouble talking when I'm typing. I'm usually pretty good at multitasking, but yeah, I wish I could find that video like right off the bat because it's really messed up. I might just type in Real TV because that was the show that I saw it on. Real TV.
Yeah, boy.
This videos of
Yeah, I
people
don't know
shooting
if it's
themselves in it.
I don't know if it's the fact that I drank a weed tea before this and I'm just fucking stoned as hell, but this seems like it's been a really great podcast, man. We've learned some
I feel
very
that
interesting
way.
stuff, made a few jokes. This is tinfoil
I'm
hat
like,
quality.
I'm literally like mentally lagging right now because I'm trying to look for a video and also at the same time thinking about what I wanted to finish off with. So I'm like, I
Sorry,
want to
brother.
show what I saw. Like it's a real story. It's this kid, like he was a young African American kid trying to be PC. Okay, he went into the back door of a convenience store where he knew the owner, but the owner thought he was trying to rob the place, and the owner shot him in the head with a magnum. And he's like, I remember watching the whole thing. They had to reconstruct. They made like a prosthetic for his head, so he kind of looked normal, right? Because he was missing half of his head. Like there was half of his brain got blown out. And what I'm getting at is, where is your consciousness in your body? Or is it just within your whole body? Is it part of your brain?
They say that it comes from certain centers of the brain. Like they'd say that they know which part is responsible for thought, which part is responsible for logical thought and emotional thought. So perhaps maybe he just lost part of his brain that's responsible for logical or emotional thought. Therefore, he can continue living. But I mean, miracles have happened, man. You've seen stuff about people getting a thing through their head or a thing through their chest, like a bar through the chest, and they stay alive. You're like, how the fuck are they alive? It's a miracle, you know? And for you religious people out there, it just goes to show you that the Lord is the only one who chooses when you die, man. So I still hope I hope that store owner went to fucking jail though for shooting the kid in the face. That's fucked up.
No.
Now people are going to call him face.
No, in the story, it was an honest accident. He didn't mean to do it. So
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
He thought somebody was breaking into his store. The kid came in the back door. Was the story,
also shot
right?
a kid in the face.
He was maybe a little bit overzealous on the trigger. He was a little bit, overzealous, but whatever.
When I become king of Canada, not to make you in charge of firearms. Fuck that. That guy should be in jail at least for a few years. That's fucking retarded. That's manslaughter as far as I'm concerned, man. That's fucked up.
All I'm getting at is he lost half of his brain, and somehow he was still himself and still fully conscious and everything. So it makes me wonder where in your head, if it is in your head, is your brain or your brain. Sorry, I'm talking shit. Too many beers. Where in your head is your consciousness and your soul? Well, we'll say soul, like, right? Do you know about chakras? It might have something to do with that. Like, you have chakras in your body, and I'm not going to start talking about it until looking at it because I can't remember exactly. They're all different colors. And
no, I know what you mean. So, did you have any more cloning stuff to get to, or? I think personally, just speak to what you said. I think personally, the soul probably is in the brain, and like it's probably contained mostly in the brain. But at the same time, I think your soul is when your soul is in your body, it's throughout your whole body for sure. Like my soul's in my arm too; it's a part of me. But if my arm gets chopped off, do I lose part of my soul? No, I think it just it's like it's hard to explain. But yeah, I think your soul is definitely part of your whole body, but if you lose your brain, there goes your soul. So it must be in your brain mainly. It's probably like some kind of vein, It's like our nervous system. You can kind of piece off, and the rest still remains. But yeah,
well, no. All I'm getting at is we don't know that, right?
Yeah, like, we don't. To be fair, yeah, you're right.
That story makes me curious because he lost half of his brain. So I don't know. In theory, wouldn't he lose half of his personality? Maybe. Like the kid came out of it the same. He wasn't mentally disabled, which is interesting. Like he was still, that's crazy. Like in the interview when I watched it, he's upset because his head's all fucked up, and he's like, people look at me funny, right? Like They're like, whoa, you got a hole in your head. Like, you're missing half your fucking head, dude.
Worst part of it is he's still got to go to school, shit. So he's still got to take the fucking SAT test, and he can't even say that he's fucking mentally incapacitated. They're like, no, you got to study for your fucking test, kid. Billy, you better get upstairs and do your homework. Come on, Dad, my fucking face is falling apart. I'm never gonna get my dick sucked. Anyway, let's get back to the cloning shit. Let's get back to that cloning shit in a minute, as soon as we can. There, we got a bit off topic.
Okay, I'm gonna give up on that, but I swear that happened. Unless I'm like living in a different, like a different dimension right now, a different reality. Maybe it didn't happen in this reality. Who knows? Maybe I switched over somewhere online. You want to talk about that?
No.
Like, who knows?
Cloning, we could talk about that. Because we're almost, hey, Steve, we're almost at 2 hours. So let's get back to the cloning. We'll try and crank up maybe another 30 minutes. We're going to try and keep this at 2 hours and 30 minutes exactly. And from there, we can do part 2. But yeah, I just want to get back on track and show people that we've got the skills. Because, yeah, man, you've done a really good job so far. We've only been off track for about 10 minutes, but let's get back on there. Yeah. And, check out your notes. And we'll crank in another half hour.
I'm looking at them again. I just let me grab a beer. Talk for 1 second. I'm grabbing a beer.
All right. Perfect. So yeah, I just want to say, if you guys are enjoying this broadcast so far, please do smash the like button. A lot of people watch, they don't smash the like button. I'm not sure if anybody's going to watch this point, but I'm pretty sure that if you've got the kind of attention span that I do, I don't click on a 2-minute video. I won't click on a 10-minute video. It's got to be at least 20 minutes for most of the time, unless I'm really interested in the topic. So, you know, we're trying to do these deep dives. We got a little bit off topic, but at the same time, we've learned a lot of stuff tonight, and we're about to check out a little more. We've only gone about 50% into what Steve has already dug up for us, but I just want to say big thanks to Steve. We just brought him on about 2 days ago, and already he's put together a whole show. So really, I gotta pull up my game. I gotta do shit a little bit more professionally, because we've got Steve the Professional showing me up on my own show, which is now his show as well, and he's the co-host. So if you want to get back to that, Steve, I was just saying, thank God you joined us, buddy. This is quite amazing, and I just want to say round of fucking applause. All right, round of fucking applause for Steve for putting this show together. Trying to get guests.
I just want to say,
showing the screen, he's reading.
Fucking be easy on yourself, bro. I'm not showing you up, man. Fuck, you're the fucking king of this shit, brother. You're rocking this shit.
No, you're doing a great job, man. I'm so glad you're here. God damn. I finally met my equal.
So
it's a few co-hosts. I cycle a few human beings, but we got to my equal on this show. Steve, the fucking Professional. Hit her back into the park, Steve. Crack that fucking beer. Drink it up and smoke and get out.
I already cracked it. I don't want to repeat myself, right? I don't want to talk about what I already did, and we did get a little bit off track there, and I got a little bit confused. So let me just.
I'll tell you if you're repeating yourself. Don't worry.
I don't like dead air. Well, okay.
Dead air.
So I'm back.
It's
okay.
A great podcast.
I'm back on track here. So we got JCVI, which is Jay Craig. Did we get into Jay Craig? He was one of the worst ones, man. When you look into that fella,
we didn't
I'll open a new tab, and I'm just going to type that right in because, no, we did talk about Venter a little bit, right? He's known for leading. He's known for leading the first draft sequence of the human genome and assembled the first team to transfect a cell with synthetic chromosome.
Yeah, so we didn't get into that.
If you can take that in. He's J. Craig Venter is an American biotechnologist and businessman, and the continuation of that sentence is what I read first, because that was the most interesting part. But let's go ahead and look at his Wikipedia, because there's so much that you find which blows my mind. Like it's like they want to show you what they're doing. You know, because there's a possibility these people are satanic as well, and that's it adds to the magic. Like, it adds to the power of the spell that they're doing to tell everyone what they're doing while they're doing it. That's something I'm almost 100% sure of.
I think it's more to foster. I think it's more to foster. That could be part of it, but I think it's to get people interested in this subject, to get people to consent to it, and to get people to beg for it. Like, if you hear that they could save people with cancer, and you don't know that weed cures cancer, you're going to be like, why aren't we fucking doing this? How dare them not do this? I've lost people to cancer. Why aren't they studying cloning? So I think that's why they put it out there, that information, that specific stuff, because they want people to demand that cloning become a thing and that they make it legal. But I could be wrong, but, like, you know, lobbying is a big part of it. So if you want to read some more shit, I just wanted to say that, you know. But it could be part of their black magic. Like, the whole thing Steve is trying to say is there's a big popular idea on Tinfoil Hat where if you reveal your plans, it erases the karma, and it also strengthens the spell of what you're trying to do, the mind control of what you're trying to do. So yeah, anyways, take it away, buddy.
Can you continue just for 1 second? Because I am coming across stuff that I already said. Like, I don't want to repeat myself.
Yeah, and so it's like, if you think about it, also what I think with a big part of what they're trying to do right now is really just like get people aware of that who are looking for it without putting it out on the news. Because if it's going to come out, it's going to come out like huge breakthroughs in saving lives, this and that. So, you know, I really think that they should be at least cloning organs for sure. But when you talk about like stuff that's going on in China, whether it's confirmable or not, we've heard rumors of them making, oh no, you know what? We could look this up. In fact, we might later at some point, but they are breeding human, half pig, half human pigs to extract the hearts for people. They're already doing that in China. They put that in their own news. So that is confirmed. Like, that's a fact. Anybody who's watching can look that up for themselves. The Chinese are messing around with half pig, half human chimeras is what they're called. So.
Yeah, and by the way, I noticed that I do this sometimes, and I know that's like a symbol. It's literally a habit that I've done since I was a little kid. I don't know why I do it, but I know I'm going to get a comment somewhere along the line. Somebody's going to be like, "You're Illuminati," because that's one of those symbols. But I know what we should close out on, because we covered most of what I've researched in the last it took me about 3 hours to research all of that. And I didn't even cover it all. Like, I'm kind of a little bit jumbled. I've got I have like 20 windows open, like tabs, and I think I lost a couple of them. But I don't want to get annoying and boring and shit, right? I think we covered enough. What I want to concentrate on now is getting all these links together for you and for everybody, so that you guys can have a look at this yourself. Because, I mean, when you get looking at it, and looking at who these people are and what they're doing, it's well, for me, it's really interesting. Like, the amount of money that's being pooled into these companies, and there's a whole bunch of them. Like, I thought that now I'm losing my train of thought again. I thought that Clonaid was the only one at first when I was researching it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, they have competition. Oh shit! Well, who are they? So then you find all those names, and you find all the people involved in that, and you've got like some of the richest people in the world pooling all their money into this stuff. Like, why would they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on something that they aren't, planning to come into fruition, to actually happen, right? They're pushing it to happen. They're like, I want you to do this. Here's $220 million. Here, Human Longevity Incorporated. Somebody gave them $220 million in 2016.
God.
Why?
And don't kid yourself.
That's a couple dollars, right? Like,
if they can make this the new way or the only way to reproduce, let's say that they strip us all of our fertility slowly and fucking blame it on some environmental bullshit. That's going to be the future. If you want to have a kid, you're going to have to pay them out the ass. And then that way they control breeding. If you're stupid, or if
aluminum,
if you say stuff won't let you have a kid, you won't be able to breed.
Aluminum's linked to sterility.
Oh,
I don't know if you
shit.
looked into that yet.
That's why I like the bottles. No, I haven't.
I
I've
should
never
probably
heard
start
that.
drinking bottles. But yeah, there's a whole. That's another rabbit hole that we could crawl into. Yeah,
Bottles
like
taste.
there's all kinds of things that have been implemented or well added to our food that we eat and sprayed out into the air and all kinds of stuff that's messing with fertility. You know, like they don't want people having. Well, they want us to have how many babies or how many people do they want on the planet? 5 million. Something.
Yeah, but a lot of people have talked about a 2-child policy limit, and those people themselves have fucking 6 kids. It's sickening. But I've seen reporters that I watch, like independent reporters, they question people who say, like, you know, in China there was a 1-child policy for the longest time, or a 2-child policy, and if you had more than that, they take them and they give them up for adoption or they kill them. So, you know, basically they're trying to limit population because they've got so much of a huge population in China, and they did it brutally, by force. They said, if you have another kid, we're gonna fucking kill them. So, you know, there's a white dude that talks about that though. He's an American. He's a billionaire, and he's got 6 fucking kids. So, you know what I mean? And he wants to shorten the population.
I'm confusing topics a little bit.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Okay, I think part of the we're getting like I don't know. I have to actually say it because it's on my mind. Part of the reason I think they're bringing in so many Muslims into Canada and into the United States as well is because they have so many more babies than the average white family in Canada and the United States. I think it's like 0.5 even. I don't even think it's 1. Like average, if you average it all out, maybe it's 1.5. I don't know. But the Muslims are pumping them out. Like there's tax dollars. There's a whole bunch of money right there. Get them in here and we can make a whole bunch of money off them for the time being until they decide to kill everybody. Like I don't know what the fuck the plan is, but we're living in a crazy world, dude.
Big part of it is destabilization.
Crazier. What's that, buddy?
A big part of it is destabilization. They want people to fight, you know what I mean? But and it's like, you know, yeah, they do have more kids. And if you think about it in a way, if I was in charge of stuff, I would want that too, because how many people do we have right now to defend our country? How many fucking military members do we have? We do need more people, because I don't want to get taken over by the States in 100 years or 20 years. I don't want to get taken over by China. We need more people. And if those kids are born in Canada, they're Canadians. And where are they loyal to? Canada. As long as we don't let the culture rot away too much. And
they
if we let in,
they won't adapt to our culture is the problem. They want to bring Sharia law to Canada and to the States and wherever they live.
That's a broad statement. We're getting off topic, but I'm
in my opinion, do you really think they're going to adapt to our civilization, the ways that we live? Like they're going to bring their religion with them.
Steve,
why wouldn't they?
My grandfather came from Italy. All right, he came from Italy.
That's a little bit different.
In about 19. No, hold on. He came from Italy in about 1980 or something like that. He came over. He beat the shit out of his wife. He was a fucking alcoholic. He fucking abused his kids. He was a terrible piece of shit. A northern Italian. He married a Sicilian woman, southern Italian. He beat the shit out of all my uncles and my dad. He was a fucking
Sorry to hear that.
He's a Catholic. I heard he sexually abused them too. So, and it's like, and he was a Catholic. So, you know, Catholics have a lot of sexual abuse, a lot of beating their fucking children, they're beating their fucking wives, being alcoholics, and no one gives a fuck. And they came over here, and you know what? Yeah, my dad was a bit of a piece of shit. He wasn't religious though, but he was an alcoholic. But look at me. I'm a stand-up fucking guy. So, you know, after generation, man, or after even 2 generations, integration is inevitable. And in fact, if you're born into a Muslim family, strict religious parents, you're going to want to rebel. You're going to be saying, thank God I was born here. If my dad never fucking left, I would have been spat out into the fucking Middle East, the shithole. Thank God I'm in Canada. And yes, I believe that they will be fucking loyal. At the same time, the stuff that you're telling me about those villages that are all designed to Middle Eastern fucking stuff, that's wrong. That's bad. That needs to stop. But at the same time, we should let people come in, whether or not they're from fucking Middle East or fucking even China, for that example. Like, hey man, I'm all for taking in Chinese people. China's a shithole, and it's very dangerous to take in Chinese people. They could be fucking communists. But you know what? We've got enough technology. We can surveil them for fucking 5 years, make sure they're not communists, and give them a better life. So, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, but I just wanted to clarify how I feel. It's like anybody can come here and make a better life. But if you are going to bring that shit here, I think you should be dealt with swiftly and even fucking deported. I think if you hit your wife and you live here and you're an immigrant, you should be deported. I don't think you should be able to fucking hit your wife in this country from another country, whether you're German or whether you're fucking Zimbabwean. If you hit your wife, deported. She gets to stay. You go the fuck home. So that's all I got to say about it. But if you know, if you want to, maybe we can either go for another half an hour. Or we can talk about what we've already heard and maybe do a part 2. I'm down to hear some more information. I just wanted to say that. It's like, you know, Irish people for a long time were demonized. They were considered subhuman. And a lot of them were fucking drunk bastards. A lot of them were terrible gamblers and fucking fall down drunks and losers. Now you look 2 generations later, they're the average person, but they looked at Irish people, immigrants, as fucking trash. They looked at them here as they were going to come here and ruin it with their way of life. They're never going to adapt. And look at it. We probably both have Irish blood. So that's all I got to say, man. You know, and you're right. We do need to stop that. I don't think Sharia law should even be allowed to be spoken without having your tongue cut out. If you're saying you should have that in this country, I think if you advocate for that shit,
you're not going to take their religion away from them, dude. You got to remember that they're not going to leave their religion behind, dude.
No, we're getting into something completely different here. We're getting into something completely different here.
Wait, have you heard about the rapes and stuff at public pools?
No.
It happened in Toronto a whole bunch.
I'm going to cut this shit out. I'm going to cut
Muslims.
this shit out.
Okay, we're not going to get into this. But can I say something though? A comment to what you just said.
You can. I might cut this out.
I don't have a problem with people immigrating here at all. Anybody can come. I have no problem with that.
But this is not
I think that it should just be legal. You know, they should be screened. You can't just be open the borders. That's my opinion. I think you can't just open the borders. Say come one, come all. Say come one, come all. Like imagine how fucked up shit's gonna get really fast. I think there has to be some sort of
monitored, Steve.
There has to be some sort of a governing.
It's another topic. It's another topic for another day. Sure. I'm going to cut out the last 5 minutes, not because I disagree with you, just because I don't want it to be off topic, you know. But I don't disagree with you. I'm not trying to censor you. I'll even cut it out and put it as a separate video, and we can have it labeled as a separate video. But I don't want to get too off topic in the video, you know.
We can leave that in there and let me finish what I already decided I wanted to finish with, because I wanted to get back to what we were talking about, but not go deep into the names and like I've already said so much about it, you know, like I think people get the point. I kind of wanted to end on that, what we were talking about a couple minutes ago, how they've been putting it into the movies and stuff and trying to, like, you know, it's some sort of social engineering, you know, like, I don't know exactly what the actual agenda is and why, but it's multifaceted, like everything that they do, right? So I think it's to dumb you down so that, like, if something does happen like that, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that before in a movie, right? Like it doesn't phase you anymore because you've been socially engineered into thinking that that's just normal kind of thing. And also, like the point that I said before, possibly it's some sort of a satanic ritual, but I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm speculating. I don't know. But what I was getting at is The Island was another awesome movie. Here, we're promoting movies tonight. The Island is a 2005 American science fiction action thriller film directed and co-produced by Michael Bay, great producer. You got Ewan McGregor in there, Scarlett Johansson, really pretty girl. Digimon Huansu. Why did I get so many weird names? Sean Bean, Michael Clark Duncan, and Steve Buscemi, Buscemi. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong, but great actor. Steve Buscemi. He's one of my favorites. He's
Ewan McGregor was the guy earlier there. Ewan McGregor. He's pretty prolific.
Ewan. It's a weird name. Ewan. No, it's an E.
Ewan.
It's an EWAN. So I don't think it starts with.
Yeah, I know.
Did you say Ewan?
No, it's Ewan. Yeah, it's Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor. Ewan.
Will. Yeah. So,
Will
anyways,
Wheaton.
the film. I'll continue. The film is about Lincoln Six Echo. Is his name, which is Ewan McGregor, who struggles to fit into the highly structured world in which he lives, isolated in a compound, and the series of events that unfold when he questions how truthful that world is. Why does that sentence not make sense? Anyways, I read that totally wrong. Anyways, after Lincoln learns the world he attempts to escape, he learns that the compound inhabitants are clones used for organ harvesting as well as surrogates for wealthy people in the outside world. And he attempts to escape with Jordan 2 Delta, which is her name. It kind of reminds me of that rapper that had like a serial number, pretty much. He's like, if you want to look it up, that's my model number, is what he called it. It was weird. So they escape and they expose the illegal cloning movement. Right. So it's an awesome movie. You should watch it but it just reminds me of this whole situation that I kind of feel like that might be happening right now. Maybe there's a compound somewhere and there's a bunch of clones.
We gotta go save Lincoln
there.
Eagle 6, man. We gotta go save Lincoln Eagle 6. We gotta go help him out. We gotta
go save them. No, but this is just my theory. Maybe there is multiple. Probably every one of these companies that's doing cloning has their own compound, and maybe there's like thousands of people that are clones that are. Well, okay, it gets back to the like Matrix situation where they tried the first Matrix and they made it so everything was like tickety boo, and it would be like a happy world for everybody and no stress and no nothing, but they rejected the program, so they had to make it so that people had to go and have a schedule and have a job and be busy bees all the time, right? And that's what keeps them alive, right? And I don't know, man, like it seems like if they had a compound, they'd have to have these people they'd have a whole these clones would have a whole regiment. They'd have their, they wake up in the morning, they go maybe running, I don't know, play sports, school maybe, I don't know, a job of some sort.
Are you familiar with the game Fallout? The game franchise Fallout?
Yeah, I've played that.
Okay, so imagine that they're born into that, and what they're told is, hey, you can't go outside, there was a nuclear war. But don't worry, we've got some sports, like you said. We've got good food. We've got television from before the war. Don't worry. And then one of these days, Ewan McGregor's like, what the fuck? I'm a goddamn clone. And they're going to cut out my organs? What the fuck? They're going to chop my dick off? I don't think so. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And they pull an escape. But yeah, they could just tell them anything. They could say, like, listen, this is the year is 100. We were brought here by the great Lord Xenu, and we're going to invade this planet called Zeptar, and they think it's called Earth, but it's actually called Zeptar. It's our home planet, and they've taken it over. They're evil, and like they could tell these clones anything. So like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, they could be like, "Yo, these people are evil. You're the supreme beings. You're gods. You're gods. You're above them." And then they've got all this tech. They could put them into a robot and shit. Fucking battle robots. They could have an army of clones like Star Wars. Anyways, we're talking about the movies that have the clones in them right now. Just to think about possible scenarios of why the fuck they're doing this. Why are they doing this? And these movies are really showing us why they would be doing this, But like that one is like they wanted to chop out the organs and fucking have clones for rich people. That they just said it at the end, So the first one, Arnold Schwarzenegger, why do they want to clone him? I forget. I don't know. They didn't really say, but to take over the world. Yeah.
I'm the worst, man. Like as you're talking, I'm trying to because I want to put my statement in of what you're saying, but I believe that there's a lot of truth in movies, man. A lot of these science fiction movies. That's what I believe. I believe that movies are more real than you probably want to believe. Because over the years, there's been a lot of shit that's actually come out as truth that I seen in a movie years ago. It's like, it keeps happening. It's like more than once, right? So it makes you think. Are they actually telling a real story? Are they showing you their, interpretation of something that actually happened, right? Like we were talking about science fiction movies. It's things that you wouldn't possibly fathom that actually could happen. You know, some time travel movies and stuff even. Like, I've been looking a little bit into the time traveling stuff, and I'm not going to say I'm completely opposed to the idea. You know, I'm kind of like Sam.
I think time travel.
You know, I'll pretty much accept any
I
theory.
think time travel's bullshit. I think time travel's bullshit unless you're an alien. Like I probably completely bullshit, because think about it. If we had discovered, like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying if it had been discovered by the Illuminati, we'd all be in slave collars by now. Come on, man. We'd all be half robot with no penis. We'd be fucking insect humans. We'd be something completely different. They would have total control instead of just basic overall control, but we would be fucking shipped. I think if they had time travel, man, we'd be living in a world where humans were still gods, where they shit on us even worse than they do now. But I think it's possible. I think aliens probably have time travel, but it also could be time's not even real. It's just a concept, and therefore it's impossible to go back in time because time is not real. It's an illusion. So that's kind of how I feel. But yeah, give me your theory.
I agree with that. My theory is that there's a select group, or possibly maybe not a group, maybe just one being that has access to a time travel mechanism of some sort. And to go with that, I can't really elaborate on what they're doing because I have no idea. Like, you see some of these photos of people with cell phones in like the 1900s and stuff like that. But my theory is that that's what's affecting this Mandela effect. That's what's causing the changes, and that's another subject that I don't fully agree with. But there are some things, like I listen to songs sometimes that I remember from high school, and they sound completely different than what I remember them as. And I just wonder if there was like a ripple in like the, as they call the space-time continuum, or whatever you'd call it, right? We're getting really deep into some science fiction stuff, right?
We're gonna do a whole show on possible. Hey, bro. We'll do a whole episode on time travel, but we'll also do a whole episode on Mandela effect, flat Earth, everything that I perceive to be a psyop, because I think a lot of shit is psyops. We'll do a whole episode on it, and we'll talk about each one for like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And I would love to go further into that, but all I want to say about it is like, I've heard a lot about Mandela effect. I personally think, because I'll tell you this. Have you ever read 1984 by George Orwell?
No.
Okay, I'm going to get you to read that because it's only 200 pages. It's a great story. I'll buy you the book sometime. But all I got to say about that is, in the book, they say, what is more powerful than all the guns? And I told you this yesterday. All the guns, all the gold, all the nuclear bombs in the world, controlling the minds of men. And also another good quote from that book is, if you can convince someone that their reality is not true, you can effectively control their minds. You can control reality itself. If you can convince someone that their memories are incorrect, then you control reality, not only in the past, but also in the present and the future. Because if you control the minds of men, you can control the future, the past, and the present. Think about it. Do we know anything about history? Not a thing. All we know is what they tell us, man. So once you can convince people in the conspiracy theory community to fucking think that, oh, shit's changing. Oh, Berenstain Bears. Oh, this and that. Oh, Coca-Cola used to have a penis on the fucking thing. No.
How hard would it be to edit that shit online? Exactly, if you're a hacker.
Exactly.
You could change all that shit. You could edit the videos. You could make everything a little bit different and be like, wow, look at that. It's not the way you remembered it, is it?
And they're not even hackers. They're not even hackers. They're just in charge of the records.
Well,
no, they're not even hackers.
They're clever with records, computers.
Past and present. They can do whatever they want. They can change something from 10 years ago to say, oh, this has never been edited and blah, blah, blah. They could add graphic context on everything. Don't kid yourself. They've got fucking some AI systems and stuff. They can go back and change it all instantly if they really want to. If they really want to fuck with people. So I think that whole thing is a big
honestly, dude, scam. But what's fucked up, that Genie movie, I actually saw that, man. Like, that's one of the most damning ones for me. Like, because I saw that.
Did you know that there's actually a movie of that?
But Shaq did like the same movie, so maybe I'm,
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is.
Maybe I'm confused. Not being racist or anything, just like maybe I got confused. Like,
They were doing a parody of that movie, actually. Like, when the guy made that, they were doing a parody of the movie that actually did come out. Because there was a movie that came out. But when I saw that, bro, when I first heard about the show,
it was a different actor.
I wanted to believe in this. Honestly, I want to believe in it so bad, because imagine if there was different realities. Imagine there's a reality where Michael J. Fox did not play in that movie. Like, Michael J. Fox.
Well, did you see the clips of the other guy that was actually playing Marty McFly? It was bad. I can tell why the director was like, nah, we got to find a new. Like,
they should remake that movie with a serious tone to it, and like less humor and shit. They should make that movie like epic. Because when I saw him as it, I'm like, this movie would have been lame. But at the same time, it would have been like a whole different thing. It'd be all epic. There'd be no jokes. It wouldn't be funny. It wouldn't be a great movie, but it'd be like a so epic movie. And then we'd have like 7 Back to the Futures. By now, we'd be into some fucked up shit. But anyways,
Back to the Future is like my favorite good, movie. Brother. I feel a little bit sick. Sorry, I keep like coughing and shit. I don't like. Of course, I'm like not helping myself by drinking beers and smoking weed, but whatever. I feel like doing it, so it is what it is. Yeah. So
you want to Google cloning movies?
Sorry.
You want to Google cloning movies? We'll look up a few more about cloning before we end off the stream.
That's a really good idea. I like your style, brother. Always thinking, eh? Always thinking.
Always be thinking, dog. Always. Yeah, can I tell you a secret? This whole time I've been staring at myself. I'm staring at myself instead of staring at you. I glance over at you every few seconds, but I'm like, am I in frame? Am I looking okay? It's a horrible habit. Like right now I'm looking at myself. Right now I'm looking at you. Now I'm looking at myself.
I've actually been pretty good, because I'm not gonna lie, I do that too a lot. Mainly when I'm on my computer, because my screen is fucking huge, right? So like my face is like bang, it's like there's my I almost want to find a way to like turn it off. I don't like looking at myself. I'm like, oh, my hair, Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I've gotten in some fights and shit, so I'm like, shit, my nose. Like,
don't worry about it. Your camera's terrible.
I've had my nose broken multiple times.
When you get a better camera, then you can get worried. Yeah, no, your nose is fine. Come on, symmetrical. So yeah, Google cloning.
Well, no, it actually.
We'll go for another 8 minutes.
Excuse me.
Hey, we'll go for another. We'll go for another 10 minutes, maybe. Yeah, and we'll cut it off after we read the cloning movies. What?
You know what's funny? Straight up, first movie that comes up, The Sixth Day. First one.
Word up.
Cloning movie. The Sixth Day. Oh yeah, Hardcore Henry, but that one is, I don't like that movie because it's literally just it's just killing. All it is just bang, bang, bang. Yeah. I couldn't watch more than 10 minutes of that one. Hardcore Henry, it's like a first person. Yeah. He's just running. It's like you're watching someone play video games, but he's just killing everybody.
Fuck.
Gemini Man. Never heard of it. It's Will Smith and Will Smith as the co-star.
Will Smith and Will Smith.
Yeah, it lists him twice. It says like on the label for the movie says Will Smith and Will Smith as well.
Maybe he's a clone. Do you want to check it out?
What, like a clip of it or something?
No, I meant like read about it, but like read down the list, and then maybe we'll check a few of them out, see what the plot is about.
You want me to talk about it?
Yeah.
I got my fucking train. My train interrupted this podcast 3 times. 4. Okay, so multiplicity. Do you want to hear about it? Or sorry, Gemini.
Yeah, for sure.
Multiplicity is a classic, dude. If you've never seen that, you got to see that. It's fucking funny, man.
All right.
Like he clones himself because he's lazy, and then his clones start like sleeping with his wife, and because he's trying to like get shit done faster, right? And then he finds that one of them was actually banging his wife, and he's like, "Dude, you can't sleep with my wife, man." And he's like, "Why not? Like, I'm you, pretty much." Yeah. Like, yeah.
Come on, man.
One of them comes out retarded. One of them's like mentally. Sorry, I'm not allowed to use that word. Mentally disabled. Yeah, you might have to clip that out. You can't say retarded anymore. But
Fuck that.
so fuck that. On this
The hell
show,
is
we
that
say what
shit?
we want.
Exactly.
But yeah, Gemini Man. Let's look that up. What is Gemini Man about? It's two Will Smiths. You know, it'd be the easiest way
Probably
to
the
do
same
this.
situation. He wants to DC somebody.
Do you want to see the trailer? We could full screen it
No,
and
that'll
everything.
get taken down. No.
Will it? Okay,
No,
fuck. I won't do it then. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get in trouble.
Gemini Man film Wikipedia. So, why do they give such a long description? It's like, okay. So,
Just read the plot. Just go to the plot.
yeah, because it just goes on
The
and on.
plot's like a few.
Okay, the film follows a retiring hitman who is targeted by a much younger clone of himself while on the run from the
what?
government.
That's fucked. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Originally conceived in 1997 by screenwriter, yeah, more bullshit. Wikipedia sucks, man. Seriously? Like, we do a better description than this. We should make our own, like, Wikipedia, right?
We'll call it Hickopedia.
Yeah. It'll be straight to the point, real. No fucking filler, no bullshit. Just, this is what it is. You want to know what it is? This is what it is. Quick and simple.
A dating site that's a porn site. I want to make a porn site that's a dating site. That's my idea for a fucking. Cause yeah, man, I wouldn't mind making a video of myself beating off, but how am I gonna find a lady? I'm just gonna get all these gay guys looking at my shit. But what if there's a website where you cover up your face, you fucking masturbate on camera, and then you find someone who likes your junk? That's my idea. It's called gofuckyourself.com.
Dude, okay, straight up, I looked up the plot of this movie. It's like reading a Stephen King novel, man. Like it goes on for days, man. Like it's telling you like scene by scene. Like Henry Brogan, a 51-year-old former Marine Scout sniper who works as an exceptional assassin for the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA in brackets, is sent on a mission to assassinate an anonymous bioterrorist aboard a train. During the mission, Henry's spotter warns him of a young girl approaching the target, causing Henry to delay his shot until the last second. Shooting the man in the neck despite aiming for his head, disillusioned with killing, Henry retires from government service. While adjusting to retirement, it's so fucking boring, I can't read it.
Oh, I like that.
Well, do you want me to keep going? While adjusting to retirement, Henry meets boat rental manager Danny and reconnects with an old friend, Jack, who reveals that an informant named Yuri told him that the man Henry killed was innocent. Demanding proof, Henry has Jack arrange a meeting with Yuri in retaliation for Henry knowing their deception. Agent Director Lassiter plans to kill him. Another fucked up name. What did I get? Clay Varys, head of an elite private military unit codenamed Gemini, requests permission to eliminate him, but is denied.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I'm really seriously, like, I'm almost
We
falling
know what
asleep.
that one's about.
Let me keep
We
going.
know what that one's about. Yeah, no. Switch to it.
I don't know why I hold my hand out when I do that. It's like I'm presenting it to you. I'm sending it. This is a full send. I'm sending it.
Well, read about that other movie that you brought up because we got the gist of that movie. We're at 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So just finish off with the last like 1 or 2 movies. Just read just what it's about.
Oh yeah, what was the other one? What was the other one?
Just push back. I don't.
Fuck. It was something.
Know,
I'll just do it again. Clone movies. Right?
Yeah. And we'll wrap it up in like 5 minutes, and then we can talk after we end the broadcast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to end this up, and we're gonna have to figure out these links.
Yeah,
I'll send you all the links because you're gonna have to put them in there. I already said to everybody I'm gonna give them. So there's a bunch of them, bro. So it might take us a couple minutes.
Yeah,
I hope you're okay with that.
Oh, of course. Come on.
Yeah. Look at my fucking hair, dude. I need a haircut. What the fuck? Okay, so the other one was multiplicity. I already explained that one to you. That's
I
you
think
have
so.
to
Yeah,
watch
that one's funny.
Multiplicity. You have to watch it. It's Michael
Who did
Keaton, you
Scott?
know, the guy that played the first Batman, like the
Sounds
best
good.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Jack
I'd watch
Nicholson
that.
as Joker.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great movie. Now it's talking about Star Wars: The Clone Wars. So it's obviously it's just picking up the word clone. Cloud Atlas. Now, I tried to watch that, but it's boring as fuck. Apparently, it's like amazing if you get through the whole thing.
Just read what it's about.
I have like a frog in my throat, dude. No, I fuck, man.
Technical difficulties sometimes do happen. So I guess we'll try and read off this last movie.
I'm not feeling the greatest today. Okay. Cloud Atlas. What would you like to hear about Cloud Atlas? We'll go straight to the plot. Okay. Which is probably going to be it's like 10 pages long. So in the Chatham
like maybe
Islands, I'm not going to say.
It should tell us what it's about without making us read the whole movie. Like go up again. It should tell us.
You should see this, man. This is written like Stephen King wrote it. Like I'm not kidding. The description is incredible. Like in 1849, American lawyer Adam Ewing witnesses the whipping of a Moriori slave. Ottawa. It tells you the name. Ottawa stows away on Ewing's ship and convinces him to advocate for. Like it just fuck. I don't need to know the screenplay.
Steve. Yeah, exactly. That's not the plot. The plot is supposed to be like two things. Just go up to the very top. If it doesn't say what it's about, that's okay.
It says plot. This is listed under plot.
Yeah, but forget about that. Go up to the start and
skip ahead.
Just read what it says at the start.
Yeah. I can really quickly skip this, dude. I'm just fucking with you.
I was gonna say, if you go up to the top,
I'm just being goofy. I think I've had a little bit too much beer, and I apologize. You can probably see my stature change over the period of the last 3 hours, like as I continue to drink beers. Okay, so
just go to Steve. Go to the top. Go to the top. It'll tell us what it's about without.
In 2144, Sonmi -451 is a fabricant in quotations, a human clone for slave labor, kept as a fast food server in a dystopian Neo-Seoul in China. That's SEOU. What's that name? That place keeps coming up.
Coincidence.
Anyways, see, we should go there. We should go visit there. She is exposed to. Not right now. Like a different time. She is exposed to ideas of rebellion by another Ju Chang, who exposes Sonmi to the band. Sorry?
I said, watch your mouth. Hey, Ju Chan, watch your mouth. Hey, Ju.
No, that's a name, dude. It's HAEJOOCHANG. Like that's just, I don't know. Hey, Ju. Hey, Ju.
That's what I thought you were gonna say. Read the rest of it. We'll wrap this shit up.
Paul McCartney. So I can't. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Ju Chang. I'm not kidding, man. That's his name. Like you can. Do you want to see it? Like Jesus Christ, you don't believe me?
No. Read it. It's okay.
I'll show it to you. Look.
Just read.
Do you see Hey Ju Chang there somewhere? How do I get that right on there?
Yeah, I see it. It's all good. I see it. We believe
you. See
it? I see it.
You can look it up and check it. Here, let me get this.
Just read the rest. I was trying to be funny. Just read the rest of it.
Okay.
All right. No, we'll wrap this up.
Your wish is my command. So, So, Hey Ju Chang. That's her name. Okay. Am I not allowed to say the person's name? Anyway. So, we're stuck here, right? Who exposes Sonmi to the banned writings of Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Nitzin. That's the weirdest last name I've ever seen. And the full film version of Cavendish's experience. Hey Jew eventually introduces her to the leader of the rebel movement and shows her that clones are recycled into food for the fast food diners. Yeah, and so Sonmi makes a public broadcast of her revelations before the authorities attack, killing Heiju and recapturing Sonmi. After recounting her story to an archivist, she is executed. So yeah, so she's dead. So then in it just tells you the whole movie, eh? This is like kind of a, like, it should say spoiler alert at the beginning. This is on Wikipedia. Yeah. It's like, it tells you the whole movie.
They really should.
So then,
spoiler alert.
So then I don't even have to watch it now. In 2321, the tribes people of the post-apocalyptic Big Island of Hawaii worship Sonmi. Their sacred text is taken from her recorded testimony. Zachary Bailey's village is visited by Meronim, a member of an advanced society called the Prescients, whose remnants of high technology, but are dying from a plague. Whoever wrote this doesn't write it properly. Whose remnants of high technology? They're saying that they had high technology, but they're dying from a plague. Meronim is searching for a communication station in Mauna Sol to send an SOS to off-world humans in exchange for healing Zachary's niece, Katkin. Meronim is guided by Zachary to the station where Sonmi made her recording. Returning home, Zachary finds his tribe slaughtered by the cannibalistic Kona tribe. Cool. Like, this is the whole. We're gonna have to put
Forget it. This is crazy.
No, hold on.
It's all good.
I want to finish. So hold on. He kills the sleeping Kona chief and rescues Katkin before he and Meronim save each other from the arriving tribesmen. Zachary and Katkin join Meronim and the Prescients as their ship leaves Big Island on a distant planet. Zachary is married to Meronim and recounts his story to his grandchildren. So now it's just talking about, like, we just talked about the whole movie, I guess, basically. Okay. Spoiler alert.
It's all good. So let's finish up here.
Well,
let's just do a quick review of what we talked about, and then we'll.
It's not a spoiler alert because I read it really bad, so nobody would be able to understand that. Whoever's like even still listening at this point, like I kind of feel like people would be like, "Okay, I'm done. Some of this shit out. I've listened." You can edit whatever you want.
Like about 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna do that just for the viewer. But yeah, let's just finish up here. We'll talk about what we've already talked about. We'll review some of it, get both of our feelings. We'll end the thing, and then we'll get the links for people. Yeah, and then we can hang out for a bit if you're down. It's not that late yet.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm not ready for bed yet.
Let's do that. All right, solid. Okay. So yeah, let's just review what we've talked about so far, and I'm going to mark this down so that I can edit some of it out, because it's like a lot of that was like, it's like I thought it was going to be like 2 minutes of fucking thing. Like the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing took 2 seconds. We knew what the movie was about, and it didn't spoil it. So, it's all good, though. You did a really good job reading tonight.
I wasn't kidding when I told you I had enough content for the whole show, man, and even maybe 2. Like, again, I'm not done researching this topic. Like, there's so much more to look at. Like, I didn't have much time. I'm glad that you gave me a little bit of extra time actually to start the show, because it wouldn't have been as good if I didn't have that much time to dig down these holes of craziness. Like, the more you look, the more you find. It's unbelievable, man. This topic is juicy.
Precisely.
I'm not going to stop. So, I'm not going to stop researching.
We'll definitely do a part 2. So in review, I guess what I'll say is, tonight we heard about, obviously you can order a clone. That's pretty cool. I don't know how that would work once you get back to the States. Like, how do you get a birth certificate for a fucking clone of yourself? But hey, man, if there was a way I could clone myself and raise a baby and don't have to get a girl involved, I'd be like, sure, fuck it. I want to have a kid right now. Sure, I'll have one. I'll have my own little baby. And then I'll have someone.
Wouldn't it be weird watching yourself grow up? Like, and it
Not
looks
that
like
weird.
it
I'd
looks
be
just
like,
like you remember yourself looking as you're going. Like it's you. It's a clone. It's the
to be honest,
man. That'd
I'd
be
rather
creepy,
have a kid the
man.
real way, but I mean, I'd rather have a kid the real way. But if I could, I'd probably do that. What? Sure, why not? Fuck it.
I just
You
wonder
know,
if they
I
would
don't know.
really have the same memories, or well, they no, because
No.
think about it, they would experience their own memories. They'd have their own
It'd be a new
experiences.
soul. It's just a copy of the body. You can't copy a soul. That's impossible. You can't copy a soul. A soul's
I
unique.
feel like
That's the very nature. That's why I think
maybe a
it's fucked
soul
up
is
that
like a
some people-
package deal with every life form. You know, if you're
Yeah,
alive,
for sure.
you
Oh,
get a soul. Here you go.
undoubtedly. Yeah, a fish has a soul, but
It's
I don't give a
package
fuck.
deal.
I'm still gonna eat the fish. You
I
know,
feel
and
like
people
fish
try
have
and say,
souls too, man.
yeah. Oh, it's about
Even ants.
reincarnation. You know, as soon as you die,
Where do you draw
As soon
the
as you die,
line of the size of the creature that has a soul? Where there's a line that you draw all of a sudden, like no, that one's too small to have a soul. Like
well, it's
it
like
could
I
be
used to think.
bacteria might have souls. Who fucking knows? Like
I used to think. I hope not. I used to think that that I used to think that bugs were just yeah, I thought bugs were just like robots, you know, that are they're only reacting to their environment, you know. If you smack something down, they're only reacting. But if that were true, then they would do the exact same things as each other, would they not? Maybe not. But also gotta say is I used to think that they didn't have souls. Now what I think is depending on how you lived your life, I think you're reincarnated as some kind of an animal. And you know, if you were really shitty, or if you didn't do what you should have done and you let some people die and you should have like been leading or whatever, you become like a cow ready for slaughter. Or like if you were really good and you had a long life and you're tired of being a human, they let you be a dog and the dog is like in a good home and shit like that. So I don't know what it is, if that's part of the deal, but I firmly believe in reincarnation. I kind of feel like I've had a few lives. Some stuff gets me angrier than others and it should. It's like I'm pretty sensitive to the whole Chinese thing. That just could be the fucking that could just be my humanity. But I get really mad. I feel I might have been a Chinese person. I kind of have a weird memory of being in a mine and dying in a mine. I don't know if that's a movie I see, but I kind of remember being a Chinese person and be going in a mine and shit collapsing and
you
I died.
seriously do? I'd like to hear that story on a different show. But okay, if you believe in reincarnation, do you believe in different planes of existence? Like, you know, like
yeah, for sure.
Let's just say if you actually did the best that you could possibly do in your lifetime, would you ascend to a different plane of existence? Do you believe that? Again, another show. We could talk about that all day.
Yeah, we keep getting off topic. So let's fucking.
I believe there's different dimensions, but it's really confusing to me. Like I can't. I still haven't wrapped my mind around the different dimension thing because it's interesting, but it's
if anything, we should just start. If anything, we should just start another broadcast and talk about this shit for a bit. And yeah, but we'll end it here. And I just want to,
dude, I don't have another 3 hours. Really?
No, fuck that. No.
We'll do it tomorrow, brother.
Yeah, it's been a good show.
Honestly, I did my best, man, and I'm actually starting. I can feel myself starting to get tired now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to cut it off because it's getting a little long.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now.
It's 3:05.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just wrap it up here by saying I think like, you know, cloning should definitely be looked into for organs and stuff like that. At first I was really angry, you know, but I could see, you know, if you're not going to be able to find somebody like me, no one wants to be with me. How the fuck am I ever going to have a kid besides adopting? You should go and adopt a new puppy rather than like breed a puppy in a test tube. But, you know, for now, I'll say no to that, but I'll say yes to they should be cloning organs for people. And as far as the cancer thing goes, that's bullshit. That's just an excuse. So, but we should be the ones who are having this stuff promoted rather than them, because they do it behind closed doors and they're going to have an army of clones take over the world. Personally, I think this is being done for, like what you said, if they don't like you, they replace you. And or maybe they can make a slave of you and bring you back and breed you with other slaves and keep humanity going after they kill us all. And they don't need us anymore. They could just use us as slaves, bring us back as fucking clones, wipe out humanity and bring us all back as slaves again. How do we know we weren't started from a race of clones? Our great grandpa could have been cloned. You know, they say Tartarian meltdown was only 200 years ago. Maybe our great grandfather was a clone. He had no fucking idea. How would he even tell? They let you off a ship in a shitty thing. You're not going to know you were a clone. So we could all be from clones. They could have cloned this whole fucking race. You know, you can clone a whole new thing of wheat plants if you want to. You can clone a whole new race of them, and they'd bear seeds and they'd start again. You know, as long as your plant can bear seeds, you clone it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, is there anything that you wanted to say in conclusion? Like, I just think we should go after these motherfuckers because they're obviously bad reasons.
We could be aliens. We could be actual like hybrids, you know, mixed with our DNA of something else from somewhere else that we don't know about. I've heard people talk online, you know, of course it's online, so who knows if it's true or not, but I've heard people talk about that our DNA sequence has been changed. Like, well, the fellow that was saying it in the video that I watched, he said hundreds of times, right? But my first question is, how do you know that? Where'd you get that information?
Yeah.
Right? So, I kind of believe it. Like, I mean, I'm open to any, you know, possibilities. Like, honestly, I believe everything and I believe nothing at the same time.
What do you think about cloning specifically? What do you think about the ethics of cloning? Like, do you think they should be doing it? And do you think they're doing it for a nefarious purpose? Yeah, like, do you think it's a good thing that they should be doing? And do you think that they're doing it for a wrong reason? Like, we heard they might be taking over the world. We heard they might make slaves. We heard they might make the slaves into fucking McDonald's hamburgers. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That was fucked.
Now, this is an interesting about that's a really interesting question, because I agree with the end result, but I don't agree with the road to that, you know, like the path to their perfection of what they're trying to do. Because I mean, there's so much unethical situations that are going to happen. Well, just like what I mentioned with Dolly, the sheep, right? What was it? How many times? 277 tries to get her to come out not all fucked up. So, I mean, think about those 277 sheep. They just slaughtered them, right? They were born into this world to be, you know,
slaughtered,
disposed, you know, just a test experience. Like, imagine all those 277 sheep had, you know, a soul, and they were torture for, you know, like when you're conscious as whatever, you know, what if you were born as a sheep tomorrow, you know, but you're a test experiment in a lab. You were born tomorrow as a test clone sheep in a lab, and they were like, fuck, this one's all fucked up. Kill it. Throw it in the bin with the rest of them, right? That's the unethical part.
They keep you alive.
But
they keep you alive and they study you.
I get the goal and the end result.
Your deformed body. Yeah. Imagine
That's
they keep you
alive
if you're deformed, and they just watch you, like, see if you can survive even though you're deformed. Like, that would be even worse than killing you. They probably do that. They probably study all the specimens. They don't want to waste it.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like, before they kill you, they might as well get as much data as they possibly can, right? With their test subject before they dispose of it, right? We could do, oh, fuck, let's see how far we can drop it, you know, before it dies.
Exactly.
Whatever. Like, I'm getting, this stuff kind of pisses me off a little bit, but you know, like, you know what I'm saying, right? I get why they're doing it, and there's, it could be saving people, but you know what? They're trying to play God, and I don't agree with that. Okay, honestly, I changed my mind. My honest opinion, they're not allowed to play God. Yeah, they're going to save a bunch of people with grown livers and hearts and stuff, but it's not worth this pain and suffering to, you know, like they're messing with God's work. You know, if you want to get into that type of stuff, it's actually very wrong in other religious ways.
You know, if it can be done ethically, where they don't have to grow an entire host, but that they can actually clone just a liver, that they don't have to clone an animal and kill the animal and harvest the organs. If they can grow just a liver, which I've heard is possible, it's probably just bullshit to gain consent. But if they can do that, by, let's say, taking a stem cell and putting a stem cell with just a liver cell and it replicates into an organ. I don't have no problems with that. But the problem here is it's illegal. Everything's illegal around it right now, yet it's done in a different country. And think about what one country they say, oh, North Korea. If we let North Korea have nuclear arms, we're all going to die. Imagine what one country having the most sophisticated cloning technology in the world could be doing to our society right now. Like, there's maniacs out there. They don't give a fuck. Like,
Well,
I don't think that we should be letting to do this. It's the Nazis, man. They were involved in eugenics. This is kind of like eugenics. Eugenics is a little different. That's like saying, if you want to have a baby and you want to have blue eyes, you give us 10 grand, we'll give it blue eyes. You want it to be male, 25 grand. It's a male for sure. You want to have a big fucking cock, oh, give us another 10 grand. We'll give your son a big fucking fat dick. That's fucking eugenics. And then they get rid of the mentally ill. They get rid of any health problems. But how they do that? Same thing as this: cloning, experimentation, killing people, getting rid of genes, and it's altering genes. For me, eugenics is the worst thing in the world, worse than cloning. That's what the Nazis were looking into, and that's why you should probably not get a vaccine, folks. Don't even get the flu shot. What the fuck?
I'll give you one more little quote that I didn't say. So in 2000, Venter, which is one of the fellows, one of these guys kidnapped a woman and like impregnated her, like scientifically. Like I talked about this earlier. It's really fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story. Venter and Francis Collins of the National Institutes of Health and U.S. Public Genome Project. Sounds like a legit company, right? Jointly made the announcement of the mapping of the human genome, a full 3 years ahead of the expected end of the public genome program. The announcement was made along with US President Bill Clinton and UK Prime Minister Tony Blair. Venter and Collins thus shared an award for Biography of the Year from A&E Network. Awesome, thumbs up. Good job, boys. On 15th of February 2001, the Human Genome Project Consortium published the first human genome in the journal Nature and was followed one day later by a Celera, C-E-L-E-R-A, Celera, publication in Science. Despite some claims that shotgun sequencing, and genetics shotgun sequencing means it's a method used for sequencing random DNA strands. It is named by analogy with the rapidly expanding quasi-random firing pattern of a shotgun. So there. Okay. So claims that shotgun sequencing was in some ways less accurate than the clone-by-clone method chosen by the Human Genome Project. The technique became widely accepted by the scientific community. Venter was fired by Celera in early 2002. According to his biography, Venter was fired due to a conflict with the main investor, Tony White, specifically barring him from attending the White House ceremony celebrating the achievement of sequencing the human genome. So there was actually a White House ceremony that celebrated the achievement of sequencing the human genome. Wow. So
why was he fired? Is that the guy who kidnapped the bitch?
It doesn't say. It says that he was fired due to a conflict with the main investor. So
that's like a conflict.
Maybe he was bitching about money. Maybe he was bitching about money. Maybe the investor said, "I'm not going to give you 100 million. I'm going to give you 50," and he was like, "Fuck you." Kind of thing. I don't know.
Maybe like tell me. He's like, give me more. I'm going public. He's like, oh yeah, fuck you. No, I guess then he would have been killed. It could have been like, it could have been that controversy because didn't he get charged for kidnapping abroad?
Well, no. I'm not sure if that was that. I'm not sure if it was that guy. Like, don't quote me on that because I already said the name earlier in this podcast. So I was reading it off of my notes.
He didn't do anything wrong.
It might have been him. I don't know, but. He ended up, after he got fired, this is actually kind of hilarious. So he started the Global Ocean Sampling Expedition, and it's an ocean exploration genome project with the goal of assessing the genetic diversity in marine microbial communities and to understand their role in nature's fundamental processes. It begun as Sargasso Sea pilot sampling project, and it's some of these names are just retarded. In 2003, it was a sea pilot sampling project. Venture announced the full expedition on the 4th of March 2004. The project, which used Venture's personal yacht, which is a good point, the Sorcerer 2, he named it. He's got a personal yacht. Come on. Yeah, I know. These people have way too much money. So the Venture's personal yacht, Sorcerer 2, started in Halifax, Canada, circumnavigated the globe, and returned to the U.S. in January 2006. And yeah, a year later, well, no, that would be a year before. Weird, in between. So he was circumnavigating in 2004, and in 2005, he co-founded Synthetic Genomics, but he returned after circumnavigated the globe in 2006. So he did it while he was circumnavigating the globe. It literally says that. It says March 2004.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy, eh? I bet you that'd be a fun adventure, going around the world just taking samples and shit. You frozen?
Yeah, no, I don't want to read stuff on a show that's not, like some of this stuff doesn't make any sense.
Weird.
Like, well, we got into synthetic genomics, right? And Venture was the guy that co-founded it. Okay, you know what, dude? I'm gonna cut it right off here. I'm getting to the point where I'm too tired to keep reading stuff, and I don't like reading stuff that I haven't already fact checked. Like usually, like all my notes are spot on, right? Like I pretty much check everything before. If I'm not gonna go say something that's bullshit, right? So right now I'm reading Wikipedia, and sometimes some of the shit doesn't make any sense. It's not, so yeah. We're going to cut it off right there. I'll do some more research and we can do it part 2. How about that? Is that fair?
Yeah,
I think I've read enough too. My voice is actually starting to get a bit hoarse.
An amazing show. Have some beer there. But yeah, this is an amazing show. We went over a lot of topics. There might be some a little bit we might snip out and make into a different video where we talked about a little bit of immigration stuff. And we might cut out the part about the fucking reading the titles because some of that went a little long, and I should have stopped you like at first and said just read the first part. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, I see someone just tune in. Go back. We're going to end it about maybe 5 minutes here probably, and watch the rest of the show. It was an excellent show. Steve put it together today. Did a lot of great research, and I'd say this was equal to a Tinfoil Hat podcast with Sam Tripoli. So I know someone just tuned in. Go back, check out the replay. We did 3 hours of solid quality content, and we're going to be editing out some of the stuff. So go back before it gets taken out because you'll miss the golden opportunity. But yeah, we'll go for a little bit more when it's over. Whoever the fuck is just tuning in, check it out, man. This is one hell of a fucking podcast. Thanks to my new man, Steve, the professional. He'll be on each and every show. Might do some videos when he don't want to be in, but if he wants to be in the videos with me, he can comment along with me because there's a lot of shit that I'm working on that I'd love to hear his opinion on. So Steve, the professional, give him a round of applause, man. This fucking guy is my match. It took me going through 2 co-hosts, 3 co-hosts, but I finally found an equal in my skill, talent, and even humor. So Steve, the professional, man, thanks a lot for doing all that hard work tonight. The reading, especially, you must be parched. Your voice must be sore. But hey, man, this is a podcast people will share. This was a good show. I was fucking super entertained. I had a weed edible earlier. It might just be the fact that I'm high. Oh, wow. But I had a lot of fun, and I was really... I love edibles, man. Edibles are awesome. I was amazed by the stuff tonight. Oh, for sure. I'll send you some in the mail sometime. Really? Anyways, so, yeah. Fucking right, man. Of course. I appreciate that. I'll send you a chunk of hash, too. Hell yeah, we'll get stoned on camera with the same hash.
thank you for the kind comments.
Oh, God.
I appreciate that, man. You know, I did my best. I don't want to disappoint, right? I mean, if you're gonna do something, you might as well full send it, right, bud?
So you want to do a part 2? You want to do a part 2 soon?
Yeah.
This has been the Canadian Conspiracy Club, and we're talking about uniquely Canadian conspiracies because this was a Canadian company, and I thought it was a great opportunity to start tonight. The other Canadian conspiracies we're going to go into is like Jack Layton. Was he murdered by a death ray weapon recently? There was, I think it's called.
Oh, we're going to talk about
19,
time travel,
all kinds of
dabble in the Mandela effect a little bit, which don't want to, but we're going to do it anyways. We're going to talk about all kinds of crazy shit. You just wait and see.
We're going to do an episode of possible psyops probably pretty soon.
That'll probably be the best one. Psyops, man, I'm going to have to really research that. It's going to be never ending again. Rabbit holes deep. Straight down to never-ending rabbit holes.
Psyop or not, and I got to design some good artwork for this episode because we talked about all kinds of shit: monkeys in test tubes, rats with ears on them, apples with ears on them. It's gonna be like me and you on the screen like this, like, and then there's gonna be all this weird picture around our faces. That's gonna be the graphic for this episode. It's gonna take me a little longer because I'm learning how to use the paint fucking shit on my computer here. I might try to get a ripped version of Photoshop, but we're definitely going to be doing that because this was one hell of an episode, man. And I don't know if there's anything you want to shoot off before we end it off, but man, I'm fucking really surprised with you, and you've made me ashamed of my efforts in the last year and a half of having this channel, doing this sort of a podcast, because man, you did a lot of work. You've done more work tonight than I've done in the last 6 months. And I got to say, your level of professionalism, I'm glad I chose that nickname for you because, man, Steve, you are the professional, man. You are the professional right here. And I got to pull my socks because if I want to roll with you and I don't want to lose you to your own podcast or some other podcast, I got to be careful because you're a talented motherfucker. You made the show happen tonight. You're pulling in guests and everything else. And we got to get the fans of the OBDM podcast on here to do a big old round table.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking, that'll be vicious. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Fuck you. Flat Earth is real, man. Trump's going to save it. Fuck you. It's going to be great.
Oh, man.
Steve's going to be
we can honestly
drinking a beer shotgun.
My favorite thing about this is we can talk about whatever, man. I feel totally comfortable. So, like, that's the way it's got to be, man. We got to be able to speak our mind.
Immigration earlier. The thing you said about immigration earlier, I want you to understand. I wasn't trying to
I
just didn't want to get off topic. That's it. I like what you said.
Yeah.
No, I like what you said. We have good conversations, and I really enjoy that. But like, all I got to say is, it just was a little off topic for cloning. That's the only reason. But I'll probably just leave it in there. Fuck it. And I don't know, maybe because it's about 3 hours. But I think I'll probably just leave most of it. The only thing I want to take out is you reading that fucking thing about the movies, and not all of them. The first 2 are great. But after the third one, it's like, maybe I'll leave it in.
Yeah,
or just trim it down.
Fucking yank it, bud. Yeah. Make it good, high quality content.
But yeah, anyways. The Canadian Conspiracy Club. Steve the Professional. What else did you have to say there? Sorry.
The only thing I had to say was I appreciate the positive vibes, man, and the awesome comments, man. And everybody have a nice, blessed day. That's night now. Like it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to all our viewers. We had people watching for about an hour. I think my prospective girlfriend there that I'm trying to win over, I think she watched for about an hour. We did a good job. And we had a couple of viewers. I think our peak concurrent rate, which is how many max viewers, was only 2. But we did have people stopping in and out. So we did a pretty good job tonight, man. I think tomorrow, when this hits our subscribers list of 57 now, thanks to you again, I think people are going to like it, and they might even share it. So if you're watching the show, share it out there. The number one thing you can do to help the show grow and to reward Steve for all his fucking hard work today, his goddamn fucking hard work, besides smacking the like button. Smack that like button, you fucking communist. You're not going to smack the like button for us hard-working podcasters.
Whoa,
we're the fucking
easy,
kings
brother.
of entertainment. Joe Rogan's going to drop these knowledge bombs on your fucking head? Your fucking head? No. Steve the Professional and the Skeptical Canuck are the only people out there that are batting for you 100%. All right? All right? Get it to your fucking head right now. All right, so smack that like button and share it out. Share it out with one bad motherfucker that you talk
What
to.
he said.
We talk together every night. Whether or not we're on camera, we talk every night. We're good buddies now, and it only
We
takes us a few
chill.
days. If you have a good buddy
We're
that you
actually
talk to every night,
we're actually
send this
becoming
fucking
tight.
podcast their way right now. Exactly. Send this podcast their way right now with your one tight friend. Do that at least. If you feel comfortable sending it out to your mother, your grandmother, your uncle, your transgender next door neighbor, send it out there. Get it out in the airways. But if you want to share it with one person and really help us out, share it with somebody who's like-minded in conspiracies, and do that for us, please. I don't give a fuck if you leave a comment or smack the like button. I don't even care if you subscribe. Actually, I do. Subscribe. But share with one person, and this show will grow. And before you know it, you'll have a place in an army, my friend, and you won't be at the bottom. You'll be one of those motherfuckers that is right here at the beginning. We'll know your name. You can call into the show like they do on OBDM. We'll get to know you, and you will be a part of the show too. Now, I'm sorry, we're probably not going to let anybody else become a part of the show permanently. We've already got 3 people that are set to do it on a regular schedule. But you can call in. You can even be on video chat with us if you want. If you have something to say, some information to share with us, especially if you have a Canadian conspiracy you want to share and it's not super duper fucking racist or some shit. No, I'm just kidding. No, but don't bring that here. But yeah, as long as you have something that's wholesome and interesting, bring it, man. Bring it on over. That's all we want is don't bring anything wacky. But if you want to talk about transgender vampires that are sucking the blood out of our children, bring it on. We're not censoring. We just don't want to talk about any silly shit. But hey, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is the very first episode of the Canadian Conspiracy Club. And if you want to join, smack that like button. And I will say, as I always do, we're all citizens of Earth. We're all citizens of Eden. We're living in a garden of Eden here, folks. You plant a seed, you can grow some weed. You plant a seed, you can grow a fucking cucumber, beans, anything you want. You can raise up you got a chicken that poops food. Chickens poop food. Shut up, you stupid fucking vegans. You don't want me to eat eggs? I seen an ad for cruelty-free cream cheese. You can fuck right off. Cruelty-free cream cheese.
This is the best fucking outro I think I've ever fucking heard, man. I'll tell you.
So thanks for watching.
You're killing
We're
it.
all citizens of paradise. And stand up for this fucking planet. Because you know what? No one else is telling you. They want to give you a carbon tax and they say they're going to solve global warming. They say there's a problem with global warming. We got to save the earth. Watch, it's going to come in the next few months. We got to save the planet. Who fucked it up? These motherfucking goofs. Time to hang some motherfuckers. Thanks for watching.
Wow.
This is the Conspiracy Club. And you are a patriot. Oh, yeah.